stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
Welcome in to Bleck and Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app, Sirius XM Channel 375, and all of our great radio affiliates around the country. I'm Chris Bleck, along with Adam Abdalla, live from Chicago each and every day on the air until 3 Eastern, hanging out with you right here on Westwood One Sports. You can always join the show and participate. You can call or text the show at 310-840-4910. Abdalla, we start today with the Dallas Cowboys spending more cash. The Cowboys extend Quinnen Williams to a 3-year, $105.9 million deal. I believe $101 million guaranteed for the defensive lineman for the Dallas Cowboys, spending some more cash. And the conversation with Dallas this entire offseason, have they done enough to improve defensively to be a competitive team? And can this team go on a Super Bowl run the way it's constructed? Because their offense is ready to go. It may be one of the best offenses in football. I think Dak Prescott's going to have a really good season. So can the defense catch up and do enough to make this team competitive?
Yeah, I think they can. And look, Quinnen Williams absolutely deserves this deal. If you look at his totals from last year, obviously 2 teams. He comes over from the Jets in a trade. And last year, total with both teams, 12 QB hits, 2.5 sacks, 26 total quarterback pressures. I mean, he is a stud of a defensive tackle. And this guy just absolutely gets the job done. And he was a stud college, stud with the Jets, stud with the Cowboys in his, limited time with them last year after he came over with the trade. He makes this defense better. And it's good to see that Jerry Jones is finally committing to paying defensive players after letting arguably one of the best defensive players in the league go and trading Micah Parsons away to the Green Bay Packers. He's now committing real money to defensive players, and this is good. And I think that they've done a lot in the draft, in trading last season, free agency, to shoring up this defense. And you and I are both very high on the Dallas Cowboys. Their offense, I think, is going to be great. I think they can have one of the best offenses in the NFL, assuming everybody stays healthy, obviously. And I think now you're starting to see reports are, and I mean, it's not even a report. CeeDee Lamb said it himself. CeeDee Lamb now wants Jerry Jones to step up and pay George Pickens. He's like, you got money. We all got money. Spread it around. You're showing love to everybody else. Let's show some love to George Pickens. Let's get this deal done and extend Pickens so everybody can manage this and we can all be around for a while and keep this, championship window open and keep everybody happy, because it seems like Pickens is the next guy. So now you've got a defense that should be better. There's only one way to go for this Cowboys defense, and that's up. They were one of the worst defenses in the league last year. They were the worst.
Not one of the worst. Giving up the most points per game on defense of any team in the league. 32nd.
Exactly.
Giving up 30 a game.
There's only one way to go, and that's up for the Cowboys defense. So assuming they can get to even 20th, right? Let's be conservative and let's say they get to 20th. Okay. That to me is enough for them to be a competitive team, get to the playoffs, and I think win a few games in the playoffs. And if they can get to the middle of the pack, if they can get to 15, 16, that's enough to go on a championship run with the way that this offense, I think, can be. Dak has played the 2 out of the 3 years that Dak has been fully healthy and played a full season. He has had great numbers. He's had MVP caliber numbers. And as long as the defense is there to back him up, this can be a team that can go on a championship run.
To me, heading into this season, there are 4 teams that fit the same mold. Heavy offense, successful offense, good quarterback play, weapons offensively, scoring a lot of points, defenses that suck absolute garbage. Terrible defenses. I think. Well, no, I think there are 4 teams that description fits perfectly for. Those 4 teams. Dallas, where we're talking about, and we're leading with Dallas for the second day in a row. It's because the conversation yesterday was, could Dallas look to Max Crosby at some point, and could they make a trade to try and improve the defense even more? Okay, so that's one team. It's Dallas. Second team that I would point out, team that's made some moves on defense this offseason, they have the offense. They have one of the best quarterbacks in football. They've got 2 number 1 wide receivers. Cincinnati last year, 30th in defensive points given up per game.
Yeah.
28.9 points per game. Dallas, Cincinnati, those are 2 of them. Yesterday on the show, we talked a lot about the Washington Commanders. Can the Commanders get back into the mix, and can Jaden Daniels play like he did as a rookie? There's weapons there. McLaurin, Diggs, they've got weapons offensively for the Commanders. Their defense last year, 27th in the NFL, giving up 26.5 points per game. Okay, so you got Dallas, you got Cincinnati, you got Washington. The 4th team I would put into that grouping would be the Chicago Bears. The Chicago Bears offensively were awesome last year. Their defense, by most metrics, were bottom of the league, except in turnovers. They led the league in turnovers, which we know from one year to the next is very unpredictable on being able to do so and to guarantee that that will happen again, especially when you're not a team that gets after the quarterback a lot. You can't sack the quarterback and disrupt the quarterback. So when you look at Dallas, Cincinnati, Washington, and Chicago, offensive-heavy teams, if their defenses, and this can go for all 4 of these teams, if their defenses can just improve a little bit, they can be Super Bowl contending teams. A little bit. That's the MO with these teams, because essentially they are all built the same exact way.
Well, I think only a few of those teams have actually taken the strides to improve their defense too. You know, like you look at the Bears, for instance, they didn't improve their pass rush at all. I think that the way you're looking at the Commanders, they improved their offense a little bit more by adding Stephon Diggs, you know, to that offense to give Jaden Daniels a little bit more help. You look at the Bengals by adding Dexter Lawrence to that defensive front, but also getting rid of Trey Hendrickson. So you get rid of a stud pass rusher by adding a defensive tackle. So is it addition by subtraction, but you get rid of a guy, you also add another guy. So how good are they going to be by getting rid of one guy, but also adding another guy? So there's some movement, but also some addition and subtraction there by both of these teams. I think that the one team that I'm most confident in that will have the most improved defense out of all the teams that you named are the Cowboys, because they did the most in the draft by trading at the deadline and in free agency. So I think that they have actually done the most. I think that the Bears have gone this way and are just going to try to outscore their opponents by as much points as possible and say, hey, we're going to try to put up, 40 points, 35 points. And if you can put up 40 points on us, then okay, so be it. And I think that the Commanders might do the same, and the Bengals are probably going to try to do the same, even though they added Dexter Lawrence, but they also got rid of Trey Hendrickson. So I think that this is going to be the year where the Cowboys try to do the most by improving their defense, by rewarding the guys that they traded for, and I also think that they could be a player for Max Crosby should the Raiders, and look, we all kind of know how this Raiders season is going to go at the beginning, but I think they want to wait and see how their season goes to begin. And if they start, 1-5, 1-6, and we get into October and it's not going well and we get close to the trade deadline, Max Crosby is going to be on the move, and the Cowboys are going to be at the top of the list for a team that is going to have once traded away their star pass rusher. They're going to be trading for a star pass rusher.
I would say with Dallas, a team that was 32nd last year in defensive points given up, they have a lot of talent on this defensive side heading into this season. Quinnen Williams, that's why we're talking Cowboys today, signs a new deal, 3-year deal, $105.9 million. Okay, so he's there. He's on the line. Kenny Clark's a good player. So give credit. You got Kenny Clark in the middle. Rashawn Gary brought in, was with the Packers previously. Now he's with the Cowboys. Really good player. And then at the back end, Malik Hooker's a good player. And then the Cowboys draft Caleb Downs, who fell to them in the draft. Caleb Downs,
Love him.
by many people going into the NFL draft, told us here on the show that he was the best player in the draft. Many people told us that.
Dude.
You know, and you and I loved him in college.
Love Caleb Downs.
He falls out of the top 10. The Cowboys are sitting there at 11. They're able to land Caleb Downs, who could turn into an absolute stud.
I love Caleb Downs.
A game-changing player. So Dallas heading into this season, for us to suggest that their defense can improve, and we're not asking for them to be top 5.
No.
We're not asking this team to try and win games 13 to 10. We're asking the Cowboys, just don't give up 30 a night. Give up 22. Give up 25. You got a chance. And I think that's why you and I have been high on Dallas this entire offseason. That's where it's coming from for me, is I look at the Cowboys, and I think if this defense can just improve, don't be 32nd in the NFL in points given up. Just improve a little. And this team has a chance to win the division. This team has a chance to be competitive for a Super Bowl.
Well, because I think if you look at it in their division, I think the only team you have to worry about putting up a ton of points per game are the Commanders. Like, the Eagles aren't going to try to outscore you by 40 points, right? Like, the Eagles are going to be, we talked about it, how they're going to try to get back to running the football. Saquon Barkley is going to try to grind out these games, a lot of controlling the clock and all of that. We know the Giants, in a new system with Harbaugh coming in, are also going to look to do the same thing with Cam Scatterbo and Jackson Dart. I think the Commanders are the one that are going to look to put up a bunch of points because they're in the same situation. Their defense isn't as strong. They're going to try to keep Jaden Daniels in the pocket, not running as much, but also they're going to try to put up a bunch of points and try to outscore their opponents because they know that their defense isn't as capable of holding leads, just like the Bengals and the other teams that you mentioned, the Bengals, the Bears, the Cowboys, until we see it. And I think that that's the only team in their division that is kind of in the same situation, that has an offense that can really compete with them. The other two teams, while the Eagles are going to be decent offensively, you lose A.J. Brown. Mekhi Lemon is in and out of, training camp and practice because he struggles to stay healthy, we've been hearing. And the Giants, I just don't know what they're going to be offensively. I don't know what their identity is going to be offensively. I don't know how they're going to look offensively. I don't know if Jackson Dart's going to be able to stay on the field for an extended period of time. I don't know if Cam Scatterbo is going to be able to stay on the field for an extended period of time. So it's really, to me, going to be a battle between the Cowboys and the Commanders for those top offenses in the NFC East.
Yeah, and what's surprising is you and I talked about it yesterday on the show, Sean Mannion, the new offensive coordinator for the Eagles, talking about focusing back on the run game with Saquon Barkley. 2 years ago, when Barkley was running well, also the Eagles' offensive line was better. Jalen Hurts was a better quarterback. There is an argument to be made that heading into this season, I have been someone that's been very vocal in saying, I want to see Jaden Daniels prove it again. I thought the offseason last year, where some were putting him in the top 5 of quarterbacks in the NFL, thought it was crazy. He did it one season as a rookie. Last year, only played in 7 games. The numbers fell apart. And also, you look at the completion percentage dropping from 69 to 60. That, to me, is a quarterback taking a slide backwards. So we'll see how he shows up this year. With that said, it is very possible that Philadelphia has the 3rd best quarterback in the division.
Yeah.
And I'm not trying to throw shade at Jalen Hurts or the Eagles, but it is possible that that's the case. I know Hurts has won big games. He's won a Super Bowl. It is possible that you're entering a divisional race where you have the 3rd best quarterback.
Jalen Hurts has always been a quarterback that you can win with and win because of. But he's never a quarterback that you want to have to win because of or win with. You don't want to have to go out and start a game and say, this is a game where we need Jalen Hurts to dominate this team and win because of Jalen Hurts. Like, you want to be able to, the Eagles are always at their best when they're up, by 6 or a touchdown, and they've got the ball with 6 minutes left, and they can go on some ridiculously long drive and just grind out the clock, and that's the end of the game, right? That's how they are. That's how they operate. And they're running the ball, and they play bully ball, essentially. That's how the Eagles, that's their identity. That's what they are. Jalen Hurts is a good quarterback. I'm not knocking him at all. But Jaden Daniels took a team to the NFC Championship in his rookie year. When he's healthy, he can be a top 10 or better quarterback. Like, he just can be. And we know Dak Prescott, he can be an MVP. He's shown it the last 2 out of 3 years when he's healthy. Absolutely can be. And we debate Jalen Hurts. Is he outside of the top 10? Is he a top 15 quarterback at times? So you're not wrong. I don't think it's shade to Jalen Hurts to say that. No one's saying you can't win with Jalen Hurts. It's just that he needs other things around him to be successful in order for himself to be successful.
Yeah, he needs to be set up, which is okay.
There's nothing wrong with that.
A quarterback last season won the Super Bowl by being that.
It's not a detriment.
Sam Darnold is that.
But I'd rather have Jalen Hurts than Sam Darnold.
Yes. But when you look at comparing Jalen Hurts to all the different options, if you're looking specifically at the East and the NFC, you can make the argument, obviously, Dak Prescott's number one. But I could see people leaning towards Daniels as the guy that they would rather have. He to me is a more dangerous quarterback.
I would want to see him play another full season healthy first.
That's why, hand up, that's why I said to start this, I've been critical.
Yeah.
I've been someone that wants to see more from Daniels.
Yeah.
With that said, I think he has more talent.
Yes.
I think he's a more talented quarterback.
It's the health, because I've seen 1 year where he took a team to the NFC Championship game, and I've seen 1 year where he only played half a season.
It's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. We heard yesterday that Shedeur Sanders might be closer to the third-string quarterback for the Browns than he is winning the starting gig. We'll tell you about that coming up next.
Last year's top 3 picks are shining at camp. Titans QB Cam Ward, Jaguars two-way man Travis Hunter, and Giants edge rusher Abdul Carter. Could super sophomore campaigns be on the way for this trio? Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
We will get to the latest on the Cleveland Browns and what we've heard about Shedeur Sanders in just one moment. But first, we have breaking news here on Westwood One Sports. Adam Schefter is reporting for ESPN that sources have told Adam Schefter the Vikings have named Kyler Murray their starting quarterback. Kyler Murray is now the Vikings starting quarterback. My question to you, Abdalla, is this just for the first preseason game, or this is for the season?
No, this is for the season.
For the season. All right, there you go.
Kevin Seifert, Vikings reporter for ESPN, says Kevin O'Connell will talk around 2 Eastern. This was the near inevitable final answer, but was clouded by a rough weekend, but ultimately it was hard to see it going any other way.
Mike Garafolo from the NFL Network quote tweeted the Schefter report saying that the Vikings have named Kyler Murray their starting quarterback. Garafolo writes, "Never a doubt. The Kyler Murray Vikings era officially begins." That's kind of the angle that you and I have taken here on the show this entire offseason. It was going to be Kyler Murray all along. Mm-hmm. J.J. McCarthy, even though, and we had the reports the last couple of days that he's looked good because he knows the offense. I would hope so.
Yeah.
I would hope the kid that's been in the program for the last 2 years knows the offense.
I would hope so.
If he didn't, that would be a larger problem. So Kyler Murray is now the Vikings starting quarterback. Breaking news right here on Westwood One Sports.
Where's our buddy who likes to write us essays about J.J. McCarthy?
Oh, are you talking the individual who texts the show at 310-840-4910?
Yeah. I want him to text in another essay.
I don't know, but he should. He should text in something and let us know his thoughts on Kyler winning the job. I think that's the case.
I think we knew how this would go. And look, that doesn't mean that JJ won't get a chance to start at a certain point. It just means that right now, Kyler is the starter until he is, proves that he can't. I think that this is how we all thought it was going to go. And Kevin O'Connell has a chance to prove once again that he's either the quarterback whisperer. Kyler Murray has a chance to revamp his quarterback image, get a payday at the end of this year, be the Vikings quarterback at the end of this year for the foreseeable future, or move on and be a quarterback somewhere else. I find it hard to believe that if he is good this year, that the Vikings would make the same mistake again. That cost their GM, former GM, Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah, their job because they let not only Sam Darnold.
His job.
Sam Darnold left, but also Daniel Jones, who was in the building and never actually played. No. But that was
let
part
him go.
No,
Come
no.
on.
But that was part of the story from The Athletic.
Daniel Jones.
Dude, you laugh.
No,
but that was
I know.
that was part of the story. Part of the story from ownership was that from The Athletic was that ownership was pissed that Sam Darnold was in a Super Bowl and Daniel Jones was leading the best offense in the NFL, and JJ McCarthy was lost. And Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah let them both walk out of the building. And that's why he lost his job. So laugh all you want. Those are the facts, man.
Let him go.
Those are the facts. Fine, but those are the facts. And they will not make the same mistake a third time.
Oh, I agree with that because Kyler Murray's a good quarterback. Is he great? I wouldn't go there. He has potential to be, though.
Yeah.
Right? Like Kyler Murray was the #1 draft pick.
He's got talent.
He has talent.
Yeah.
And in this offense with KOC, I'm guessing he'll get the most out of it. He also has the best wide receiver he's ever played with.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Justin Jefferson, you could argue is a top 10 player in the league.
Yeah.
Best wide receiver in football. You could argue that.
Yeah.
So Kyler to Jefferson, it makes sense. This is what the Vikings had to do entering the season. If they messed around with JJ and they waited for him to kind of mess up the way he did last season, now you're behind it. This is a fresh start. Now you move forward with Kyler Murray.
No.
It all makes sense. We've seen it the last couple of quarterbacks who have gotten that second chance. It has worked. Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield, we can go down the list. Even Abdallah's Daniel Jones. You can have that as well.
I'm just glad they
I'm just
did this.
saying, guys have gotten the chance and they've excelled.
I'm going to brush over you calling him my Daniel Jones. I'm just giving you the facts of the article.
I just wanted to make sure that I am clearly not
I'm giving you
a
the
Daniel
facts,
Jones supporter.
The fact that they were the best offense in the NFL, the fact that he was in the building with Kevin O'Connell, the fact that they were breathing the same air, and that now he was leading the best offense in the NFL, and that's what got Kwesi Adolfo-Mensah fired. And now that the Vikings did this, and they have summer of football. We're at 29 days, I believe.
29 days today.
You've got 29 days until the start of the season where...
That's exactly what I was going to bring up.
You've got Kyler Murray taking reps with the first team, and that's what's important.
And that's like to keep, I didn't want to say that. I was going to say something. Pulling the guys around with the first team. Okay, one guy's in, one guy's out. The whole like you don't create the momentum you need for a first team offense.
Well, no.
You have to select a quarterback and move forward. Now, if that guy fails, then you go to the backup. But this splitting reps nonsense, the longer it goes into camp, the less successful your offense is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
You make the decision now before the first preseason game, and now you have 3.5, 4 weeks to get set for the opener of the season. So Kyler Murray will be the starter for the Vikings. We were also talking about the Cleveland Browns. Should the Cleveland Browns do the same thing?
Nah.
Is this
no.
Abdallah wants the back and forth with the Cleveland Browns.
I need the entertainment, bro. Come on.
Let's bring up this
battle the Vikings battle was just sad. This is funny.
Well, yesterday, Linnell Willingham from Westwood One Sports Night, he joined the show. He went on a trip to see 6 different camps around the NFL. He joined the show yesterday. He told us what he saw at Browns camp. Take a listen to this.
I'll be honest, guys, and you're going to think this is hyperbole. It's not. Dylan Gabriel damn near got as many reps as Shedeur Sanders did on that Saturday practice, guys. And as we sit here right now, as they get ready for their preseason opener, I am first and foremost one of the biggest Shedeur Sanders fans. I think they're wasting their time with Deshaun Watson, quite frankly. He may be closer to being the 3 than the 1 at this point. Like, if just Dylan Gabriel over those last 2 practices, and people that are on the Browns beat are kind of feeling this way as well, like, wow, all of a sudden he's getting more and more reps. Shedeur's, I think, doing what he can with the reps. This was the other piece of it, guys. Before I got there, they were saying that it was through 8 days, it was 5-3 Shedeur in terms of who had practiced better. I show up, and all of a sudden, I guess, Deshaun Watson, he sees me in attendance and wants to ball out, I guess.
So that's Linnell. He was fantastic. Check out the podcast.
I love Linnell.
He's great. But, yeah, I mean, his eyes he was seeing that Shedeur looks more like the 3rd string than he is the starter for the Cleveland Browns. When I heard him say that yesterday, I was like, wow, that's a great report. And that's awesome, Linnell, to go on that trip and to see all the different camps and to give us that information. And that's also, we mentioned the way we thought the Vikings quarterback battle would go. Mm-hmm. That's how we kind of thought the Cleveland battle would go as well, is that Watson will be the starter and Shedeur is behind Watson by a wide margin.
Well, I think it was, Jeff Schwartz, who was in for me one day with you, that said, just follow the money, man. Like, look at the contracts. Watson's going to get a chance to start. Like, he's going to. It doesn't matter. The Browns know what they're doing. You got a look into what the Browns are doing the second they traded away Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing. They're resetting. And, look, you can say, well, there was nothing to reset. They were already at the bottom. You can't reset a rebuild when you're already rebuilding when you're at the bottom, right? So what does it matter? They know what timeline they're on.
You could reset a rebuild.
Listen, we broadcast out of the great city of Chicago. We know how to rebuild a rebuild better than anybody. We're Bulls fans and White Sox fans sitting right here. We know how to rebuild a rebuild better than any rebuild that you've ever rebuilt before.
Nothing like a professional franchise rebuilding in their rebuild.
Yeah.
You can't rebuild something if you never win anything. That just means you stink. You're just terrible. There's no rebuilding a rebuild.
God.
You can reset a rebuild.
That's what they're doing. So by trading away Myles Garrett, adding Jared Verse, who's much younger, obviously not Myles Garrett, still a great player, but much younger on a much younger timeline, who's cost controlled right now, getting draft picks back.
Yes, got it.
You reset your timeline because Myles Garrett is older and wants to get a championship, wants to get a ring before he retires. So now you have 2 draft picks in the upcoming first round. You can get yourself a quarterback however you want to. If you're the worst team in the NFL and you got the number 1 pick, cool, you've got 2 first-round picks. If you have the 5th pick, you can use those 2 first-round picks to move up if you want to and get whatever quarterback you want to, whether it's 1st, 2nd, 3rd, however you want to. That's the plan. So I think you're going to give Watson, because of the contract, you're going to say, hey, we're paying you all this money. You might as well start, and we'll see what you got. We know, based on the track record of Deshaun Watson, just look at the numbers. He's going to start. It's not going to last very long, based on either his poor play or the fact that he's going to get injured. He just can't play anymore. Simple as that.
So practice yesterday. This is from Ashley Batsock from Cleveland.com. She put this on social media yesterday. The end of Browns practice, 1 minute, end of half situation. Sanders up with the first team. Drive ends with 2 false starts at the line. Watson next. And after 2 completions, a sack, and an illegal formation, and a false start, Monken ended practice and looked like he threw something.
I love it.
Todd Monken.
And you want him to name a starter?
Todd Monken's
never.
Trying to get a sweet haircut.
Yeah, he's going through it.
I was just trying to get a sweet haircut.
First-time head coach.
I was just trying to get a sweet haircut.
An older gentleman, which means that he's been passed over a few times, so he wants to win. This is his big shot at it.
I was just trying to get a sweet haircut.
How about this?
Why would you want him to name a starter?
At practice, yes, after practice, this was the interaction with reporters after practice about the quarterback battle. Take a listen to this.
Stephen, and then you mentioned that Deshaun's is better.
Hold on. What was that?
So that's what I'm asking. Were you saying,
I said Deshaun's better.
Were you saying that he's gotten better since camp, or that he's better than Shedeur? I want to make sure.
I don't think I threw in there that he's better than Shedeur. I'm not sure I went that far, but I appreciate you trying to trap me in that.
I'm not.
He's awesome.
I don't think I threw in there that he's better than Shador. I'm not sure I went that far, but I appreciate you trying to trap me in that.
I'm not.
And you
Todd Monken.
want this to end? What is wrong with you? No.
It's outstanding.
No. Watson's going to start. He'll start. One of them will start this weekend in the preseason. One of them will start.
Somebody has to start.
Someone has to start, right? Someone has to
It's
start.
also the first preseason game. You could also roll out there your rookie. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. You could. But on Saturday against Chicago, one of them will start.
Oh, I don't think I threw in there that he's better than Shador. I'm not sure I went that far, but I appreciate you trying to trap me in that.
I'm not.
He's already laid out his plan. You think that Monken, a hard-nosed football man like that, is gonna go away from his plan? Is gonna shy away from his plan?
No, he's got his plan.
He's gonna start. He's gonna start Sanders or Watson on Saturday against Chicago.
Yes.
And then he's gonna start the other next week, and then he'll name a starter.
Just don't try and trap Todd Monken.
Don't trap him.
Oh, I don't think I threw in there that he's better than Shador. I'm not sure I went that far, but I appreciate you trying to trap me in that.
I'm not.
Could you imagine Todd Monken in a bear trap? He'll gnaw off his own leg before you get stuck in a trap. Are
he's
you kidding me?
awesome.
You'll come back to that bear trap. There'll just be a leg in that trap because he had gnawed off himself and hopped out of it.
He did what to him?
He'll gnaw off his own leg.
Okay. All right.
So I was just trying to get a sweet haircut.
Todd Monken.
He's not going to be late for that haircut.
I celebrate the Cleveland Browns for giving us Todd Monken, the head coach. That's great.
I hope they're the last team to name a starting quarterback.
Sometimes there's coordinators around the NFL that are coordinators for life for a reason. And we'll see. Maybe Monken can flip the script.
No.
Maybe he can turn Cleveland around. Maybe Monken will be what Cignetti is to Indiana.
No chance.
Maybe this is exactly what the Browns need.
So I was just trying to get a sweet haircut.
No
A
chance.
guy like Monken. I love it. I think it's great. It's great for the NFL.
Oh, I don't think I threw in there that he's better than Shador. I'm not sure I went that far, but I appreciate you trying to trap me in that.
I'm not.
It's so great. And you're right. Maybe they should not name a starter so then we can have this comedy act continue in Cleveland.
I hope every team that has a battle names it. Like, it's them and Miami is the only one that we're waiting on, right?
Yeah, because
Or not Miami, Atlanta. Excuse me,
isn't
Atlanta.
fair because Penix has been hurt.
Yeah.
So Penix hasn't even been available for a quarterback competition.
I thought Miami because it's Tua. So it's going to be Tua. It has to be Tua.
The Cardinals deal, we know it's Brissett.
It's going to be.
Okay.
It's going to be Brissett.
It's Bleck Abdalla, sponsored by Progressive Commercial Insurance, protecting small businesses with affordable coverage options. Quote today, progressivecommercial.com. So yesterday on the show, we were talking about the Raiders. Max Crosby over the weekend gets thrown out of practice, a fight with Kirk Cousins. Hey, man, you're not being nice.
Gee Willikers.
And I know that Kirk Cousins doesn't sound like that, but I guess that's
I don't
probably
like that.
what's coming out of his mouth. You want some Coles cash?
Come on.
So that happened over the weekend with Max Crosby. I think he will get traded at some point.
Mm-hmm.
He will get traded at some point this season. Yesterday, did we get a clue on when Max Crosby will be traded? We'll tell you about that coming up next.
Your favorite NFL team plays this week. The preseason is in full swing with all 32 teams taking the field Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. Who will make a name for themselves to move up the depth chart? Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
Is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
I think at some point this season, Max Crosby will be traded from the Las Vegas Raiders. I think a team that should very seriously consider making a move like this, offering up draft capital to go get that player, I think it's Dallas. I think Dallas would make a lot of sense if they went after Max Crosby. You and I have talked about it here on the show. I think Crosby gets moved. I don't think he is going to be with the Vegas Raiders for a long time. I think they're saying it right now. I think they're also playing this weird game where new head coach Clint Kubiak is trying to pitch that we're going to start a veteran quarterback and get the program off on the right foot, and then we will change momentum and then build up the young kid when he's ready. I don't get that. Don't understand it at all. Especially as a new head coach, you have the built-in buffer if things don't go well this first season. The, quote, changing culture season, right? Like, isn't that what this is? And isn't a part of changing the culture getting a young quarterback who's in there learning how to win? Take it from us here in Chicago. Caleb Williams drafted number 1 overall. His rookie season was not great.
You're being nice.
A lot of ups, a lot of downs. It
was all downs.
Dysfunction with the team. Head coach gets fired middle of the season. He had like 3 different offensive coordinators throughout the season. Just an absolute mess. But by the end of that season, he started to show a couple flashes against teams in the division. There was a Vikings game, a Packers game. Both games, the Bears lost. But in the fourth quarter, who led the team down the field for touchdowns late? Caleb Williams. Started to look okay. The final game of the season, I don't want to go on a long Bears rant here, but the final game of the season of that year, you know that the head coach, the interim head coach was a dead man walking. He wasn't going to be back. Their head coach was fired earlier in the year. The Bears were at Green Bay playing for only draft position. Except you have a young player drafted first overall who wanted to win a football game. And Caleb Williams went into Green Bay and won a football game with a drive late. And after the game, talking trash, understanding that it means something to win a football game when your team sucks. I'm not saying that was the reason the Bears carried over a lot of momentum into last year. I'm just saying when you draft a kid number 1 overall, you have to put everything behind that kid to try and get the most to develop that player. And at some point, it's put up or shut up, right? And eventually the talent comes out. And if Mendoza is that guy, at some point in this upcoming season, the Raiders will be with their backs against the wall and he'll show up and you'll be like, wow, that's the number 1 pick.
Yeah.
That's why you play him. That's all I'm saying is we've seen it here. And now we're hoping for even larger and bigger things for the Chicago Bears. But if you're the Raiders, you gotta play Mendoza. Like, I don't understand this point from the start. And if he's not ready, why the hell did you draft him number 1 overall?
Well, you invested so much in your offensive line, too. You reset the center market with Tyler Linderbaum. You brought in a new guard. You're shuffling things along your offensive line. You've for some reason holding on to Max Crosby for I don't know how long, but you're holding on to him for now. You've brought in Kirk Cousins, and Cousins came in with the mentality of, if I'm not good enough to be the starter, I've got no problem being a backup.
Yeah,
He's being a good guy. Like, Kirk Cousins is known as, G. Willikers, I'm a good guy,
yeah,
right?
He's a good teammate, though.
He's a good teammate, right?
Yeah.
He's a good teammate.
Corny, but a good teammate.
Nothing wrong with that. He's great in the room, right? That's all you hear, great in the room. And so if Mendoza is named the starter, Cousins isn't going to demand a trade, pitch a fit, anything like that. And so you can name Mendoza the starter and have Cousins be the backup. There's nothing wrong with that. And that's what you should be doing. And don't come at me with the, well, Mahomes and, well, Rodgers. Because I can say, well, Peyton Manning came out and threw 1,000 interceptions and then became one of the best quarterbacks ever.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, he did. He certainly did.
Look at the last however many years of quarterbacks that have been drafted, recent, have all started.
Yeah, it's the best way to set up your quarterback.
Absolutely.
It's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports. So did we get a clue yesterday on when Max Crosby will be traded? Take a listen to Adam Schefter on ESPN yesterday on Crosby's future.
And I know a lot of people are thinking that Max Crosby wants to be traded. He wants to be there right now, and I think he's going to be there. I think the real question with Max Crosby and his future in Vegas comes down to what happens if this team doesn't perform well. What if there's a contender out there before the trade deadline that wants to beef up its pass rush? Could we see a team later this season, if the Raiders season is slipping away, make a run at Max Crosby? And I could see that being a possibility in October.
Okay, so Adam Schefter, I would say this. When you listen to Schefter reports, he's the best in the business for a reason. he doesn't say things just willy-nilly. So if Schefter's out there speculating that we'll see how it goes for the first 2 months, but if the Raiders fall out of contention quickly because they're starting Kirk Cousins and whatever, that you could see a team go after Max Crosby in October. I think that's a pretty solid clue into the way that Schefty kind of works things. That's how it sits right now, that maybe October is when Max Crosby could get dealt. It's now time for the Defensive Player of the Week, brought to you by Navy Federal Credit Union, proudly serving all branches of the armed services, veterans, and their families. Learn more at NavyFederal.org. Our members are the mission. Abdalla, who are we naming the Defensive Player of the Week this week?
Well, I think it comes down to either two players. I think we could either give it to Max Crosby or we could give it to Quinnen Williams for getting the bag.
Oh, getting the money.
Getting the bag.
All right.
Getting the bag.
Dual national championship, dual Defensive Players of the Week?
Yeah. Why not? Why not?
Okay. All right. So we will go Quinnen Williams and Max Crosby.
We can hand out 2 awards.
As the Defensive Players of the Week. One who's just getting in fights at camp. The other, getting the bag.
He just wanted a day off.
Yeah, well, a vet's day off.
Yeah.
Of course, absolutely. Yeah. Brought to you by Navy Federal Credit Union, proudly servicing all branches of the armed services, veterans, and their families. Learn more at NavyFederal.org. Our members are the mission. It's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. So here on the show yesterday, we advocated for being lazy. Now, listen, take care of yourself. Every once in a while, it feels if the vibe is to be lazy, take advantage.
Yeah.
So with that advice that we gave yesterday on the show, I decided to order in food last night because I thought to myself, I could go pick up, I could make something.
No.
But I just got done telling people today on the show to be lazy.
Why would you start the week off healthy and make yourself something...
Well, it was
delicious and nutritious.
Well, I would say it wasn't not healthy. It was from a Mediterranean place that I know that you and your wife enjoy. I think
shout out.
Their hummus is delicious.
Yeah.
I think I got an extra side container of the hummus for later in the week.
Shout out.
So here's the situation that I want to bring to your attention. So I use Grubhub for this, right? I don't understand how the restaurant is like 2.5 miles from my house.
Go pick it up, dude.
Yeah, I was taking our advice. I was being lazy.
Yeah.
So I order it, delivery. And the driver picks it up.
Yeah.
And then proceeds to drive the opposite direction of my house.
Happens all the time.
More than double the distance.
Yeah. He's double dashing.
And by the time he came back, instead of it being delivered within like 20 or 30 minutes, it was delivered in an hour and it was cold.
Yep. Double dash.
What the hell are we doing here?
Double dashing.
But what do you mean double? What does that mean?
It
double
means
dash.
they pick up 2 orders and then go out of their way. And then they basically have 2 orders. They pick up your order and then they pick up another order. And then they drop off that order first, and then they drop off. And I think they're not allowed to.
So
do it?
they're deciding to do this.
Yes.
The Grubhub algorithm is not setting it up that way,
I
right?
don't think so. Like there are certain ones that are like, if it's on the way, it'll allow it.
Okay, because here's what I get it. I was being lazy. I could have gotten this on my own yesterday. I could have just driven myself and picked it up within 15 minutes and been done with the ordeal. Here's what I find frustrating. You have to tip ahead of time.
Yeah.
So if the dude decides to pick it up and then go carry on his own business before dropping off your food, shouldn't I then tip correctly by watching him on the little, because you can see on the little map where they're driving? Dude, why are you driving away from my house? What are you doing? Drive towards my house. Shouldn't I be able to adjust the tip on that maneuver?
This has happened to me. And I got my food after the restaurant was closed, and the restaurant there was something wrong with the order. What do I do then?
You're
What do I do then?
Blank out of luck.
What do I do then? The restaurant's closed because when I call the restaurant to like fix something, like and I don't need like anything like it's
Game
not like
over.
they forgot to put something in the bag. Nothing.
You can't. All right, that's what annoyed me last night. I was trying to be lazy, but it took forever. All right, if you want to avoid your family or people on Christmas, we will set you up with that. We'll tell you about it next.
This is Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
That's right. Bleck and Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. I mentioned a couple moments ago, if you want to avoid your family, friends, loved ones on Christmas, we have a plan in place for you. It's the NBA. The NBA and the NFL will take care of you if that's the case. If you want to be a hermit, if you want to be a Grinch, you don't want to participate in the holiday, or maybe say you just don't participate in Christmas, the leagues, these sports leagues have you covered this year. It's Bleck and Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports, Sirius XM Channel 375. All of our great affiliates around the country. I'm Chris Bleck, along with Adam Abdalla, broadcasting live from downtown Chicago on the air until 3 Eastern. You can always call or text the show at 310-840-4910. We also have breaking news in the NFL. The Vikings have named Kyler Murray the starter for the season. So we will address that coming up in moments. I know Abdalla has some great texts he wants to read to the audience as well in regards to Kyler Murray. But this is what the NBA announced today. They announced their opening night lineup for this season, and they also announced the lineup for Christmas night and day. So opening night in the NBA starts with the Pistons and the Celtics. That will take place, triple header of games, opening night October the 20th. Okay, we'll start the countdown to the start of the NBA season shortly. But there you go. So October the 20th, Pistons, Celtics. Then you have the Sixers at Knicks. So LeBron James and the 76ers at New York to open the season. Mm-hmm. And then the final game, a Western Conference Finals rematch, the Thunder at the Spurs to start off the season. That's opening night on October the 20th. Now, for Christmas Day, go ahead. What do you want to say?
Why are we starting the season at 3 o'clock Eastern on a Tuesday?
That, sir, is for Adam Silver to address.
Okay. It's just...
I don't know.
Why are we starting the season at 3 o'clock on a weekday?
October 20th, you're in the baseball playoffs, right?
Yeah, but it's a weekday. It's not like it's a Saturday or Sunday. It's a weekday. People are working.
Afternoon. They want 3 back-to-back games that people can watch.
What? Makes no... Anyway,
I'm guessing.
Keep going.
If I had to guess, it's because San Antonio is in the central time zone. If I had to guess, that's the reason why.
Okay.
Because if that was a team in the West, in the Pacific, so the Pacific time zone, if you had the Lakers or the Warriors opening, you could place that game later in the evening, and you could stagger the other games before it earlier or later in the night instead of being in the afternoon.
Like, you don't need Celtics Pistons. Like, we don't need that game.
Well, no one's going to see it except for those who are Pistons and Celtics fans.
Exactly.
So there is the lineup for opening night. On Christmas Day, this is the lineup. Starts with Spurs Knicks, Heat Celtics, 76ers at Lakers, Thunder at Timberwolves, and Nuggets at the Warriors.
Now that's a day.
So that's the Christmas Day lineup. So now when I said if you want to avoid friends, family, the holiday, you just want to sit in a sports bubble. You want to take in all the sports because it really is now Christmas Day is turning into one of the best sports days of the year. Mm-hmm. It really is. Here is your lineup of sports. NBA, NFL. Here's the list of games. All times Eastern. You start the day, Spurs Knicks at noon Eastern. Then Packers Bears at 1 Eastern. Oh. Heat Celtics 2:30 Eastern. Bills Broncos at 4:30. Sixers Lakers at 5. Thunder at Timberwolves at 8. Rams Seahawks at 8:15. Nuggets Warriors at 10:30. That is a full day of sports action going back and forth between the NBA and the NFL.
All I want for Christmas is 2 TVs and to be left alone.
I guarantee you're not the only one. You're not the only person that's hoping for that. Christmas is great. It's a fantastic holiday. Listen, it's also a great sports day. And if you want to watch sports, there's nothing more obnoxious than being a part of a family event where you can't turn on a sport. You can't turn it on because there's presents being unwrapped. Like, you care what that person's on. No one cares.
No.
You open them
in the morning.
You gotta do the fake like, oh, this is nice.
That's what you
This is
have
great.
to. That's why you have to be glad. That's why I'm glad that I have
a gift card again. I'm glad you put thought into that.
I have a child who wakes up and is excited for Christmas morning
it's fun.
and wants to run down first thing. So it's out of the way.
Get it out of the way.
We're done.
Time for sports.
We're done at like 8 a.m. We are done.
Time for sports.
Time for sports. Time to place those bets. DraftKings, promo code BNDA26.
Get it rolling,
and
man.
We are flying through the sports day.
Hey, the best way to support your stocking stuffers is to win a couple of bets.
Absolutely.
That's the best way to celebrate.
Let's make some
the holiday.
parlays.
Yeah, absolutely. So there you go. There's the lineup. The NBA, they were waiting on LeBron James to make his decision so they could tell us the schedule. This is something that Adam Silver was, Yep.
I'm talking about the man on the Sixers. LeBron, I'm asking you to say his name. LeBron James.
So, I mean, they were waiting for LeBron to make his decision so then they could release the schedule to the public.
I look, they're decent matchups. I could have thought of some better matchups.
Really?
Yeah,
Better matchups.
Like, look, if you want like rivalry-ish games, you know what I mean? Like, I get LeBron going back to LA on Christmas.
Well, you know what? The marquee there is not Luka versus LeBron. It's LeBron taking on Bronny on Christmas.
Yes. Father versus son. Yes.
Right? Father, son on Christmas.
Yeah. Father, son on Christmas. Like, I could see, I know they're like Nuggets, Warriors will be decent, but if you want
the Warriors going to be any good?
Well, okay, so give me Durant and the Rockets against the Warriors.
Okay, all right.
Give me more intrigue if the matchup, because I know you're just throwing Steph Curry a bone on Christmas.
If you want the rivalry aspect, you put Timberwolves Nuggets. Those teams have played each other a lot in the playoffs.
Exactly.
They don't like each other.
Exactly.
That to me has a little bit more sizzle.
And
the league is
at 8
putting
Eastern.
Finals rematch Spurs at Knicks early.
Yes.
All right.
That's fine.
I guess. Heat Celtics. All
That
right.
really-
Giannis against Tatum.
That
okay.
really doesn't do anything for me.
So there's the
opening. I'll tell you this. To me, besides the weird 3 o'clock Eastern game
to open the season.
The two games on opening night to me are better than the Christmas Day games.
I agree.
They're better than the Christmas Day games.
Yes. The opening night games, that's what you want. Sixers, Knicks, Thunder, Spurs.
I would have thought we would have gotten Sixers, Celtics on Christmas.
Yeah.
I'm surprised we're not getting Sixers, Celtics on Christmas. You don't get Sixers, Celtics on... I thought we would have at least gotten it on opening night or Christmas. You're not getting it on either.
I'm guessing if you look at the full schedule is not released yet. I'm guessing what you'll see is that the Sixers are on a Western trip.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's why they're out there and they'll play the Lakers on Christmas Day.
And I would say to that, I don't care.
Fly back.
No, but that's my point. You waited for LeBron to do this.
Yeah.
And you already have the built-in Jaylen Brown against the Celtics. Okay, now you have extra juice for that matchup because LeBron is on the 76ers.
Well, you have LeBron.
Why aren't you giving me LeBron and the 76ers against the Celtics? Like, what? On opening day or on Christmas? Like, you're not giving me either.
I just hope the Philly fan, the poor girl that was crying after the Sixers lost in the playoffs this year, I just hope that she has a good Christmas watching LeBron.
And I love Joel, and I hope he stays. I love the whole team.
I think she will.
They did amazing, but it's just heartbreaking.
I think she will.
It really is.
It's just heartbreaking, but now she has LeBron.
They're better than the Lakers, so I think she will.
So there it is.
Yeah.
So she has LeBron James, and that's all she has to. Yeah. Yeah.
Talking about the man on the Sixers. LeBron, I'm asking you to say his name. LeBron James.
It's Bleck Abdalla. You can always call or text the show at 310-840-4910. Last hour, about 30 minutes ago, we had news that Kyler Murray was named the starting quarterback for the Minnesota Vikings. It was something that I thought would be obvious. that the Vikings at some point in camp should make the decision. J.J. McCarthy was not going to beat out Kyler Murray. So Kyler's now named the starter for the Vikings. You can always call or text the show at 310-840-4910. Abdalla awoken the Kraken. He called out, there's a texter who sends us a lot of messages in regards to J.J. McCarthy. He's a big J.J. McCarthy supporter from the 401.
Yeah.
This texter heard Abdalla's comments, and he has sent in a text or two directed at Adam A. Abdalla.
Yeah.
Sir, I will give the floor to you.
Now, listen, we appreciate all of our participants and all of our fans.
You don't. You don't sound like you mean that.
I do, and I wish all of our participants were as passionate as this participant is. Now, if you remember, this is the person from the 401 that sent in J.J. McCarthy's combine numbers. That said he's the
cone drill,
the fifth fastest time in the agility cone drill at the 2024 combine. He timed out a 4.47 at the 40 at the University of Michigan, one of the fastest times ever for a white quarterback, is what he told us.
Is that it?
That's what he told us, yes.
All right,
so
congrats.
I said I would love to hear from our fine friend in the 401.
Somewhere Jackson Dart is upset with that.
Yeah. So I said I would love to hear from our fine friend in the 401, his reaction to this news, and he replied, LOL. You guys don't follow the Vikings beat reporters. We actually do. I just told you something from Kevin Seifert, who is
Shout out to Kevin Seifert.
one of the best, friend of the show,
Long-time guy,
one of the best Vikings beat reporters there is.
Yes, he's great.
Who are on the field at the practice every day. They're reporting this back on YouTube on a daily basis. This is going exactly as I said to you guys a few weeks ago. McCarthy is the better quarterback than Murray, and he is significantly outplaying Murray this training camp. All you guys have to do is go to YouTube and follow the beat reporters who are reporting this back on a daily basis. And then he proceeded to take pictures of his screen.
Okay. Screen grabs.
No, not screen grabs. Pictures of his screen. There's a difference.
That's a screen grab.
No, there's a difference.
He's grabbing the screen.
He's taking pictures with his phone of his screen.
Like he doesn't know the shortcut.
Of guys. I don't even know if some of these guys are beat reporters or some of them are bloggers.
Oh, no. Is Abdalla... Oh, here we go, Raj. Abdalla is going to... Do you have a problem with bloggers?
No.
Well, so what's the difference?
Of guys that are saying McCarthy is better. He sent us... Let's see. Hold on. Let me count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 screenshots.
Okay.
Of these
reporters.
Of guys that said that McCarthy is better and Kyler Murray is, quote, fighting for his life. And he ended it with Murray is having a disastrous training camp.
Okay. All right. So these are the texts from a fan, a 401 fan.
Then he also said, you guys are being hypocrites with J.J. McCarthy. It's the same situation as Mendoza and Caleb Williams. You are correct. They both should be playing, and Caleb should have been allowed to play the first season. No.
What are you talking about?
J.J. McCarthy was supposed to play.
Played.
He got hurt, and he couldn't play. And then he played last year.
He sucked.
And he got hurt again, and
guy
he was
can't
bad.
play. Well, first of all, the Caleb comparison's not true. Caleb did start right away. He was the only starter. So that's what we're saying. Mendoza should be like Caleb. He should start from day one. J.J. McCarthy, the same. Here's the key. When you find out the guy can't play because he's playing, you pivot and you go to Kyler Murray.
Listen, Mr. 401.
Is that the full, did you read the full text there? I see more.
You guys have given up completely on J.J. McCarthy after 10 games, and that's outrageous. He is an extremely talented quarterback. And then another text. I meant Caleb should have been allowed to play after playing poor, I think he meant, that first season, and that is correct. And Caleb had no excuses for that. McCarthy was injured last year. He was coming off of knee surgery the prior season, and then he had a high ankle sprain where he lost 5 games, and then he came back. I don't need, and he had a concussion and lost the game. Listen, okay, I don't need to read all that, Mr. 401, because he hasn't. I don't think he's left his name on any of these. Here's my point, Mr. 401.
Yes.
Kevin O'Connell,
which is a Rhode Island area code. Shout out
to the great island of Rhode. Kevin O'Connell is one of the best, if not the best, offensive coaches in the NFL,
Yeah.
I would take him over 28 or 29 other NFL coaches in the NFL right now.
All right, great. List them off.
No.
Let's hear them.
There's like 3 dudes I wouldn't take him over.
Come on, list off all 29 coaches.
No,
Can
I
you
don't
do
have
it?
time. I don't have time
Oh,
for that.
you do. You have time.
He's in the same breath as McVay, Shanahan, Ben Johnson, O'Connell. That's it.
Yeah, that's the crew. That's
the crew.
the young guy crew.
That's the young guy crew.
Yeah.
You don't think, and he's also in a division that he thinks he can win. You don't think that if he thought that J.J. McCarthy was better, that he would start him week 1? Don't they have a division game week 1? I believe they do. You don't think that he would start him week 1? You don't think that he would give the better quarterback the start week 1 right out of the gate?
Yeah, Minnesota hosts Green Bay week 1.
It's a game in the division.
Mm-hmm.
It's a super important game.
To be honest, their first 2 weeks, it's Green Bay home, and then they're on the road at Chicago to start the season.
Don't tweet me. Don't text me.
Gotta get off to a quick start.
Go talk to your head coach. He's the one that's not starting J.J. McCarthy, not me. He's the one that just told you Kyler Murray's better. He's the one that brought in Kyler Murray to start, not me. Not Chris and Adam. Not Bleck and Abdalla.
Don't let me into this.
No, you think he sucks too.
This is you.
You think J.J. McCarthy sucks too.
Oh yeah, I'm saying don't let me into your argument with Mr. 401. That's what I'm saying.
I'm just saying.
I'm sitting over here. I'm just listening. I'm enjoying the show.
I'm not the one that
don't let me into
I'm not
this.
the one that's starting Kyler Murray week 1. That's Kevin O'Connell, quarterback whisperer.
I think you should have to name off all 29 coaches that you think he's better than.
I did by naming the ones I would take.
Okay. All right.
With Kevin O'Connell.
It's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports. Be like Mr. 401. Text the show at 310-840.
Give us your name, Mr. 401, so we don't have to call you Mr. 401.
4910.
Just saying, man. The coach is letting you know.
Who is quietly going under the radar throughout training camp? We'll tell you during Power Rankings with Raj next.
Last year's top 3 picks are shining at camp. Titans QB Cam Ward, Jaguars two-way man Travis Hunter, and Giants edge rusher Abdul Carter. Could super sophomore campaigns be on the way for this trio? Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
Each day we broadcast from the great city of Chicago. It's Bleck and Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports. Now it's time to go on out to parts unknown in Colorado, and that's where we find Raj Sharon.
And the next question comes from the line of Raj Sharan with Westwood One. Please proceed.
Please proceed. On a Tuesday, it's time for Power Rankings with Raj. What's up, Raj?
What's up, fellas? Just dropped about $120 ordering a J.J. McCarthy jersey. That texture just got me so fired up. I was
From which
hoping
team?
to have it.
Which team?
Oh, the
Could he be a
Vikings.
Steeler?
When he gets this job back by week 2, since so clearly
Could he be a
he's such
Falcon?
good quarterback.
All
right, guys.
Are now we're receiving texts at 310-840-4910 going after Mr. 401. Text from 630. Mr.
Texter on
401
Texter
has to
crime.
realize that the Vikings would rather have someone who's 5'9" over 9. That's Lewis.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a good one. From the 425, don't feed the Rhode Island troll. Oh, come on.
Oh, man.
That's not right.
I
No
just
name
saw a
calling.
meme. It's the J.J. McCarthy, 9 meme that we see all the time. And then Kyler Murray was, cropped, just the top of his head. And it's like the graphic was the Vikings starting quarterback is in this picture, which is pretty good. So, yeah, that's the big NFL news of the day, guys. But there's a lot of news going around the NFL. Can you believe this? We're basically past midway through training camp. Most training camps wind up, they're winding down here as preseason games get going. Kind of crazy. So I thought we would do a kind of midway through training camp edition. You can choose teams, you can choose players, coaches, any storyline, anything related to the NFL. And we're going to start off, Abdalla, with our first power ranking category, quietly going under the radar throughout training camp. Who are you putting in this group, Abdalla? Quietly going under the radar throughout NFL training camp.
I keep going back to this team. They won the Super Bowl. No one is talking about the Seattle Seahawks. They won the freaking Super Bowl. And, like, I get it that they lost Kenneth Walker, but we talk about the value of running backs and how if you have a good offensive line, you can kind of throw almost anybody back there. I think that this team is still going to be good. It's a stacked division. 49ers are getting hurt left and right. They beat the Rams in the NFC Championship game. I get that the Rams added a bunch in the offseason. I'm going to throw the Seahawks in this category because until they are dethroned, I understand that a lot of people are going to pick the Rams to win that division, to represent the NFC in the Super Bowl. But this team is still just as good as they were last season defensively. Their offense, they've got one of the best wide receivers in the NFL. Sam Darnold is still good. I think that we're not giving the Seahawks enough credit for winning the Super Bowl and still coming in and being as good as they can be next season.
I don't want to piggyback or tag team your idea.
Easy.
By the way, piggyback. Where does that come from?
Piggyback?
Yeah.
Because you jump on the shoulders. It's a piggyback.
Do pigs do that?
Do pigs jump on each other's backs?
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know.
Like, where does that come from?
Talk about it. I'll look it up.
I don't want to.
The term piggyback comes from the 16th century phrase pick-pack, meaning to carry a pack or load pitched onto one's back. Over time, pick-pack shifted to pick-a-back, and by the 19th century, people altered it via folk into piggyback.
See? We all learned something today.
I learned something
How about
today.
that?
You should learn something every day.
And that's why you ask dumb questions.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Thank you,
Raj
Co-Pilot.
has great answers.
Yes.
Raj, to answer the question, I want to say New England.
Okay.
I think there was a lot of worry that when they get to camp, there's going to be distractions. What's happening off the field on roofs with hands interlocking? What's the deal? And quite honestly, my read on what's taking place in New England is they're getting to work, getting ready for the season.
Mm-hmm.
It feels a bit under the radar, the way that they've approached it. And they make a big trade. They bring in a star wide receiver. The other two teams that I would add to that list, Baltimore feels like with all the change with the coaching staff and everything, haven't really heard a lot about the Ravens so far, and they're going to be a good team. And I had one more team. Los Angeles, the Rams.
Yeah.
You know, aside from people being like, "Oh, is this going to be the best team ever?" there hasn't. It sounds like they're just going about their business. So those three teams, I've got New England, Baltimore, and the Rams.
All right, Chris, we're going to stay with you on our mid-training camp edition of Power Rankings. I have more questions now than I did before camp. I have more questions now than I did before camp.
I'm going to say Cleveland. Cleveland, why have you not made a decision on the quarterback yet? And I think it's like the curiosity around the Browns is why I have the questions. I have more questions now than I thought that the Browns would kind of be boring in camp, but this has been actually entertaining. So I'm going to say Cleveland.
I guess I'm going to stay in the NFC West and go with the 49ers. And because of all of the injuries, I don't know what this team is going to look like. How long are they going to take to heal up? Are they going to be able to sustain these injuries throughout the regular season? How long are these injuries going to linger? Are they going to have the depth to be able to make a playoff run? Is the travel schedule and how they're manipulating the travel schedule and getting to Australia early and staying in Denver when they're going to be going to and playing the Mexico City game later in the season? I have a lot of questions about a team that is favored to make the playoffs in a championship window that is trying to compete for an NFC title and go to the Super Bowl. I have a lot of questions, and every time someone gets hurt, I have more and more questions about the San Francisco 49ers, and it doesn't help that their head coach keeps adding to the questions because of his car accident by adding new stories to, and like it shouldn't be a distraction. Like he got into a car accident and he, all this stuff. It shouldn't be a distraction, but it continues to be a distraction.
Interesting.
So every time that I have more and more questions about the 49ers every time when you shouldn't have those kind of questions.
All right, Adam A. Abdalla on our mid-training camp edition of Power Rankings. My interest has gone down from 2 weeks ago before camps opened up. My interest has gone down over these last 2 weeks.
I'm going to say the Tampa Bay Buccaneers because all the interest was what's going to happen with Baker Mayfield, what's going to happen with Vita Vea, and Baker came out and made his statement, and we're waiting for Vita Vea to get some money, and nothing. Like, we just kind of haven't heard anything. And that's kind of what we expected, right? Like, nothing's going to happen with Baker until the end of the season, unless something shocking happens and they negotiate a deal that he has said he's not going to do any negotiating during training camp and into the regular season, and there's been no word on Vita Vea. So as of right now, they're going in without Vita Vea because he's continuing to hold in, and Baker Mayfield's just going to play on the last year of his deal and maybe be franchised next season. So my intrigue has kind of gone down. I'm more interested in what the Falcons are going to do at quarterback. I'm more interested in how the Saints are going to look. I'm more interested in how the Panthers are going to look in that division.
You stole my answer, but that's a part of batting leadoff in this round. So I will concede. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. It feels like the Bucs vibes are off. That like the vibes aren't great with the team, and in that division, each day that passes, I'm starting to convince myself that the sleeper team in the South this year will be the Saints. That's the team that you always have to pick a team that you don't expect to win as a wild card selection, someone to surprise the league. And each day that passes, I start to convince myself even more that it's New Orleans and that maybe Tampa's not really going to be as good as we thought they were going to be. So I will pivot to, I'll go with Buffalo. The comment from last week that I told you guys about, one of the offensive linemen said that having Joe Brady as the coach feels like hanging out with your cool uncle when your parents aren't home.
Okay.
Because you get to do whatever you always wanted to do.
Yeah.
That, I think, is a problem. I think going from a guy who you put all the blame on last year in Sean McDermott to a guy who's there on the coaching staff who now is just being more casual with the way the Bills are going about camp, that's concerning to me. So I will say Buffalo. I don't know. Substitute teacher vibes? I don't know if that's the way to do it.
That's not always good.
Also, their new uniforms look like a Diet Pepsi can. I don't know if you guys have seen that meme.
You can't see. There's they've got
did you see
problems with
the
their
stadium thing?
Yeah, it's a problem.
Could you imagine paying PSLs where you're putting down $25,000 to $40,000 for the right to pay for your season tickets, and you're sitting behind a huge pane of glass because the stairwell is in front of your seats?
Wouldn't be me.
So all you see is just glass and concrete, and you can't even see the field?
Wouldn't be me.
Yikes. All right.
Yeah, note to self. Last thing you want to have is obstructive views there in Hammond, Indiana, guys. All right, next up in our mid-training camp edition of Power Rankings, the 180 of the question I just asked. Now, I'm more interested than I was 2 weeks ago as camps were opening. Chris Bleck, could be a team, player, coach. I'm more interested than I was 2 weeks ago.
Okay, I'll do it. I feel like if my reasoning for saying that Tampa could be an option for being out on a team in the last 2 weeks, Pittsburgh sounds like there's some good vibes. It sounds like Pittsburgh is putting together a good training camp. So if you want to pick Aaron Rodgers,
Abdalla's beaming right now. He is beaming.
Oh, why would that be, Chris?
It just sounds like all the reports out of
interesting.
Could it be a certain coach who's got bangers?
Yeah, I mean, I just the last couple of weeks, everything I've seen or heard about the Steelers,
we all just want to be big rock stars, don't we?
Is that things are going well. So I will select Pittsburgh.
Now that we got the news and it's finally official, I'm going to go with the Minnesota Vikings.
Good call.
Because now that Kyler Murray is going to be the starter, this is a real football team. You know how many quarterbacks you have when you have two quarterbacks? No quarterbacks. So now that you have a quarterback, now that it's solidified, and that this isn't going to drag out. If they had waited until after the final preseason game and you were still doing this rep splitting and all this, you've got 5 weeks now to figure this out.
That was a very aggressive movement that you just made here in the studio.
Quick hands.
this rep splitting.
He's watching
You've
Aaron
got
Donald tape. Look at him.
29 days until the start of the regular season where Kyler Murray is going to get 100% of the reps with the ones. You've got enough time to figure this out. This is a team that can contend for the division. This is a team that can get ready, especially starting with the Packers, starting without Micah Parsons for the Packers. This is a team that can get off to a good start if everything goes well for them, for sure.
Wait, we're 29 days out? We got to make like our MVP and Rookie of the Year predictions or something
We
today.
should,
I mean,
yeah, we should. We should pick our Defensive Player of the Year right now.
26 days. Guys.
26
At
days?
26
Okay,
days.
26 is when we'll do it? Okay.
We'll make
All
our
right.
picks.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
yeah.
And our final midway through training camp power ranking category. Look, we're inundated with info, guys. We got NFL Network, ESPN, Twitter, videos. Everybody's hyped up about camp. Names no one's ever heard of. Training camp is nice, but I got to see it in the games. Who are you putting here, Abdalla? Training camp, yeah, it's nice, great, but I got to see it in the games.
Chris and I are both so high on this team, and I feel like we're going to get let down. It's the Cowboys. It's the Cowboys. It is.
Yeah.
It is. It's this defense. It's the Cowboys defense. I know the offense should be there, but like, aren't we all just also waiting for George Pickens to be like, nope, not playing? Like, it's all going to come down to the games for the Cowboys and how this defense gels together. How if they can't give up, the most points per game in the NFL like they did last season. It's going to come down to the games for the Cowboys. And I think they can play well. I think that they can go on a run and make it deep into the playoffs. But again, it's the Cowboys, and the history is they will ultimately disappoint.
You guys are like the meme, that Dallas Cowboys cycle meme. Have you guys seen that one of each year?
Yes.
Yeah, you guys are at the part where you're overly hyped about the Cowboys right now.
Absolutely. I'm overly hyped about the Cowboys, but I know that they will. So it's got to come down to the games. Like, listen, they're paying people left and right. Pickens is showing up every day, even though he's on the last year of his deal. Like, he's playing on the franchise tag. Like, everybody's happy. Everything's going great. But we haven't played a game yet. So, like, it's got to be the Cowboys.
Okay. Yeah. And I also can, I know this because I have had this opinion on the radio in past years. It's also, I could see the narrative being out there, like, look at Bleck and Abdalla with the national show now. Now they're cowboy guys.
I know, right?
I can see that too.
How quickly they forget about the Bears.
In the past, hosting
Up next,
a
we're
local
going to
show
talk
in
some
Chicago.
Lakers and then some Yankees.
There was nothing
but
easier.
LeBron and Cowboys now.
Nothing easier as a local host in Chicago than going after national hosts talking about the Cowboys. Fortune 500 companies, Dallas, the whole thing, right? But he's a Chicagoan now. Apparently.
I know, right? I know.
Did you see his tweet over the weekend that the lakefront in Chicago is great?
Yeah.
Wow, what a concept.
Not today.
All right.
I love your guys' voice when you do that. That's the same voice as your hello, Mr. Williams. Boy, that's a good voice.
So, yeah, I know it's setting up nicely for the Cowboys to miss the playoffs and that our first year hosting a national radio show to be just flat out wrong on Dallas. To answer the question, I'm going to say this, and I'm going to choose violence. Green Bay.
Wow.
There's a lot of chatter coming from the Cheddar Curtain up north, and I don't know if they're necessarily a better team this year than they were last year. So I want to see it on the field before we know that the Packers are actually good. So I'm going to go with Green Bay.
All right.
And that does it for our mid-training camp edition of Power Rankings.
Thank you, Raj. It's Bleck and Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports, sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Save on commercial auto insurance from Progressive. Get a fast quote at progressivecommercial.com. Yeah, I saw the tweet over the weekend. The Chicago lakefront is great.
You think?
Welcome.
Welcome.
Where have you been, pal?
Welcome to the city, buddy.
Welcome to the party. Of course. That's why it's one of the greatest cities in the world. What are we talking about? What are we doing? All right, it's Bleck and Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. My favorite coach, as Raj and Abdalla points out, in the NFL, got a new gig this offseason, and I think that this team will be improved. He's already making an impact in an area that Abdalla thinks can't happen. He's been very critical of. We'll explain that coming up next.
Is future Hall of Famer Aaron Donald coming out of retirement? It appears to be when, not if, Donald would join league MVP Matthew Stafford and Defensive Player of the Year Myles Garrett. And the Rams would have the most talented team of all time. Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
Here's Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
All right, let's be honest with the audience here, Abdalla. Come on, let's be real. You and Raj have painted me into a corner. You put me in this corner where I'm this John Harbaugh supporter, big-time John Harbaugh supporter. That I just think that it was a good hire for the Giants. I think he'll change the culture there, and I think they will be a better football team this upcoming season than they were last year by that coaching decision.
Yeah.
And you guys have painted me as this major supporter of the Harbaugh era with the New York Football Giants.
You just thought it was the best hire of all time.
No, not all.
That's
not
what you
all
said.
time.
You're
I
like,
just think
I love this move.
I
This
think
is
it made a lot of sense for the Giants at the time.
Yeah,
I
okay.
think it makes a lot of sense. It still does.
Yeah, it makes
Okay.
I have
perfect
no
sense
idea
for
what
them
you're
to go
talking
back
about. I don't think
to,
we've done
like,
anything
Raj,
to
yes.
try to portray you as some Giant super fan at all. I
Yeah.
think
I
we've
think
been
you
very
guys are trying to
measured.
do
not
this.
on youtube.com/@ Bleck and Abdalla
Well,
show.
what's there? What's on the feed?
Picture of you with your John
okay.
Harbaugh shrine.
No, see that's not real. That's not a real photo. That's a fake photo.
I don't
That
see
looks
like a
pretty real to
watermark that
me.
says AI on it. So
It's got a
That
big
is
blue forever
cool
neon
Giants
sign.
starter jacket, though.
it is nice.
I'll give you that. All right.
How'd you already
Okay.
get the John Harbaugh cardboard cutout in your house? And you
made
erased
it.
I made it.
Chris? Like, how'd
Yeah.
you
Made
already
it.
got it?
3D printer. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Actually, I don't have a printer. I use the one here in the office.
Yeah.
I'm the only one here in the office at NBC
use
Tower
of it.
that uses the printer. So I'm the one. I used it to print off the John
He's actually
Harbaugh
not joking
cutout.
about that.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
he's not.
And it is. I get very frustrated
Yeah.
as the day starts and the printer is not working
Mm-hmm.
for my various papers. All right. So you have been very critical over Jackson Dart and his ability to stay upright in a game.
What's up? What's up?
I have. You're right.
You have. How about this? John Harbaugh taking over for the Giants. Practice on Monday. The sideline erupted into cheers because Jackson Dart slid near the sideline. Take a listen. This is Brian Burns, linebacker for the Giants. The cheers after Dart's slide.
Yeah, we've been begging him to do that for a while now, so I'm glad that he's starting to, practice it.
So there you go. Brian Burns practicing. Jackson Dart sliding, getting down, not in the concussion tent. He's not in the blue tent. He's on the field. How about that? I think it's taking. I think Harbaugh is making a difference in New York.
I'm glad that Jackson Dart graduated kindergarten. That's like celebrating. Like, okay, cool. What are we gonna give him a little cap and gown for doing something for growing up? Like that's something every kid accomplishes.
Sliding?
Every quarterback should know how to do that.
Well, of course, but some are better than others. Some are too much of football guys. They want to take on the world with every play.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry that he couldn't figure that out in his first year as a quarterback and ended up being in the concussion protocol in more games than he actually played. Like, that's a problem for him. And now he's finally figuring it out that if he wants to continue with a football career, he might need to not get hit in the head so often. Good for him.
Yes.
Congratulations, Jackson. You did it.
All right. So
maybe tell your running back that too.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Well, that's different. The running back should take on contact.
Yeah, I understand that. Well, tell him not to do so many backflips.
Yeah, there you go. There's the advice. That's what you want
Harbaugh
for the
actually
running back.
told him about that too. He went and said, yeah, maybe not so much actually.
Yeah, I mean, Harbaugh also told us about bear spray because Giants training camp is in West Virginia. So
bear spray. We got a lesson on bear spray.
You did.
You spray low to high. Did you know that?
No, I did not know.
Why?
No. I mean,
well, think about a bear. You think a bear's going to come at you like this?
Ah, they're sniffing down low.
Don't
They
get up on their hind legs? They want to be. No, they're running at you low. You got to spray down low.
Okay.
Sniffing down low. I've done it before, but
you're learning.
You learn.
But if you have
to.
to.
Yeah, I'm thinking about taking a walk tomorrow. I wanted to know.
Now you
like this.
Ah, they're sniffing down low.
Don't they get up?
they're sniffing down low,
Bear
Abdalla. The Bears, they're sniffing down low.
Spray.
So you go. There's the latest from Giants camp. The
I love
is
it.
that with the crowd giving Jackson Dart the cheer for sliding?
It's pretty
finally,
sarcastic.
That's the Bronx cheer, right? That's what they do at Yankees games,
Probably.
right? Like right?
Yeah.
So there you go.
Good for them.
There it is, Giants camp. He's not my guy. I just thought it was a
No, he's
great
your guy.
combo. I think it was it made a lot of sense for the Giants to go that route. Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. Hey, Abdalla, do you have any zoo news?
Let me look. Yes, I always have zoo news, Chris.
Well, hello, Mr. Lion.
What do you have?
Here's the latest edition of the Zoo News.
What do you have over
Well,
there?
Chris, we're a day late, but yesterday was World Lion Day.
Okay, all right.
World Lion Day. And to celebrate World Lion Day, the Pittsburgh Zoo, shout out to the Yinzers, the Pittsburgh Zoo debuted their 4-month-old new lion cub named Kiazi, which means potato in Swahili. Why did they name the lion cub Kiazi after a potato in Swahili?
Yes, why? Why? That's what
Well,
we're all asking. Why?
When she was first born, she was just little and just laying there doing nothing but sleeping and nursing. She looked like a baked potato, said lion handler Karen Vaco. And the fact that her father is a first-time dad and he came from Idaho, like an Idaho potato.
Wait, what?
The dad came from an Idaho zoo.
Ah, there's a zoo trade. I got
There's a zoo trade. So the dad came from an Idaho zoo, so they named the lion Kiazi the lion cub. A little potato.
A little potato.
The zoo had more than 1,100 names to choose from because they did a contest where if you donated a certain amount, you could suggest a name. I don't think anybody suggested this name. I feel like this was a rigged competition. But they did raise over $5,700 for lion conservation, as yesterday was World Lion Day. Kiazi was born on April 5th. But she's been behind closed doors to grow and be nurtured and get fed and all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
And made her debut on World Lion Day so she could see the world on that special day. So shout out to the parents of the little potato, Kiazi. And Chris, that is what's new at the zoo.
That's what is new at the zoo.
She's a little cute. A little lion cub. Little potato.
We named her after a potato.
I don't know. Doesn't seem very fierce. If you're a lion and you're named after a potato.
No, it's not. That's a good point. I agree with you. All right, so there you go. There's some zoo news.
I don't think people you think someone actually suggested that name?
No.
Out of the
No, you're
1,100 people, you think someone actually suggested that name?
You are correct.
There's way.
That was rigged by the zoo.
There's no way someone submitted that name.
They probably received 1,000 entries of Simba. And and all the names from the Lion King.
1,000 names of Simba, 99 names of Lana.
Yeah,
and one
Scar, maybe
one Scar, and then they're like, no, we can't do that.
Right, like that's probably what happened. They're like they're going through the different submissions, and it's just Simba. I mean, that's it. And then they're like, well, we have 1,000 Simbas.
Yeah.
Oh, why don't we just call it a potato?
Why don't we just call it potato? Because
Bob over there is eating a baked potato.
Her dad is her dad came to us from Idaho.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Is like I don't think there's lions in Idaho.
They're not native to Idaho.
No, I don't think so.
Not in the plains of Idaho.
Not from what I understand.
No,
I don't think.
I've never been to Idaho, so I wouldn't know.
I don't think I have.
Oh, okay.
It looks like Napoleon Dynamite, the movie.
Okay.
That's exactly what it looks like.
All right.
What is the biggest storyline in training camp? We will tell you coming up next right here on Westwood One.
This is Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
That's right, Bleck and Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports, the Westwood One Sports app, Sirius XM, Channel 375, and all of our great radio affiliates around the country. I'm Chris Bleck along with Adam Abdalla, broadcasting live from downtown Chicago each and every day, hanging out with you until 3 Eastern right here on Westwood One Sports. And then we'll hand it off to Jim Rome and the Jim Rome Show at 3 Eastern. You can always call or text the show at 310-840-4910. We have big news in the NFL today. The Vikings have announced Kyler Murray is the starting quarterback for this season. So the quarterback battle is over. Kyler is the starter. And it's really what we expected throughout camp, is that even though there have been good and bad days between the two, Kyler and J.J. McCarthy, we expected here in the offseason, Kyler Murray going to the Vikings, he would eventually become the starter for Minnesota.
Yeah, look, he's the more talented player. He's always been the more talented player. We've seen some of the talent, and you look at these quarterbacks when they're drafted this high as Kyler Murray was. Obviously, we saw it with Baker Mayfield. We've seen it with Sam Darnold now, that sometimes when these guys are drafted by their original team, it doesn't work out. You go to a different team, and we still don't know if it's going to work out with Kyler Murray. Like, we don't know how this year is going to go with Kevin O'Connell and the Vikings, but we know that Kevin O'Connell has a history of reshaping and reinvigorating quarterback play. He did it with Sam Darnold. He went on to win a Super Bowl with the Seahawks. Daniel Jones was there last year. He went on to lead, while he was healthy, the best offense in the NFL last season until he got hurt with the Indianapolis Colts. And now we'll see what Kevin O'Connell can do with Kyler Murray. And the future is now up in the air for J.J. McCarthy. Is he going to be a career backup for the Vikings? Does he want to be traded somewhere in the offseason to get a chance to start somewhere? If Kyler Murray signs an extension with the Vikings in the offseason, all of this is up in the air now. But it seems like if Kevin O'Connell is going to get the most out of a quarterback, it was always going to be Kyler Murray.
Yeah, and I agree. And I think what we've seen in the NFL the last couple of seasons is that highly touted college quarterbacks selected highly in the NFL draft have failed in their first spot, not necessarily because they can't play, but because they're not developed and the franchise that they were drafted to stinks.
Mm-hmm.
And we've seen that now with a couple of different examples. Baker Mayfield with Cleveland, he was actually okay with Cleveland. They wanted to move on. He's had a lot of success elsewhere. Cleveland, we'll get to them in a moment, still looking for a quarterback. The New York Jets, they draft Sam Darnold in the top 5 of the first round. Darnold goes on to win a Super Bowl last season. The Jets still looking for a quarterback. And the third example would be to see how this plays out with Kyler Murray, but Arizona, who's their quarterback? Jacoby Brissett, Gardner Minshew, Carson Beck, maybe a draft selection next year. Arizona's in a bad spot. They have been for a while. They gave up on Kyler. I'm expecting Kyler Murray to be successful with the Vikings, and he'll add to the list of guys who get a second opportunity with a better head coach who's an offensive-minded guy to get the most out of the player. And Kyler Murray has that talent. He has the ability to be the best out of that group. He does.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of the Baker, the Darnold, the Daniel Jones, the guys at the second stop. And, you could even go back to Geno Smith. Geno Smith with the Jets, terrible. Later in his career, serviceable to pretty good. Like, Geno Smith has had a couple of decent seasons here at the end of his career.
Yeah.
So I think Kyler will be the best of the group.
Yeah, I think so too, because I also think he's got, when you look at what he has around him, he also has a great defense around him. He's got Justin Jefferson, who is a great wide receiver. He's got other great weapons around him too, and Jordan Addison. So he's got a complement of players around him, and he also has one of the best offensive minds in Kevin O'Connell as his head coach. So he's also afforded a better cast around him than a lot of those other guys right away. Like the Bucs with Baker Mayfield. He's got decent players around him, but obviously Kyler Murray's got a better defense. He's got better wide receivers around him. Sam Darnold has a great defense around him, obviously, but he went on to win a Super Bowl. We'll see what the Vikings can do. I'm not picking them to win a Super Bowl or anything, but I think that they can have a decent amount of success this season. They can certainly compete for the division in the NFC North this year, and I think that that's why Kevin O'Connell made the decision as soon as he did, because you still have a month until the regular season starts, and now Kyler Murray gets a full month of first-team reps to get himself ready for the regular season.
All right, so that's one quarterback battle solved. Kyler Murray is the quarterback for the Vikings. Cleveland has yet to name a starting quarterback for this season. About an hour ago, Todd Monken at Cleveland Browns training camp talked to the media. Mary Kay Cabot has the quotes. Monken said that the unofficial depth chart heading into this weekend, game 1 of the preseason for the Browns, that the unofficial depth chart should say Deshaun Watson or Shedeur Sanders at quarterback 1, and that he's not ready to name his starter yet for the game this weekend against Chicago. So the Vikings pull off the Band-Aid, name a starter, and they're ready to go. the Browns have a Shedeur or Deshaun or situation. They're naming two guys who could be the quarterback at number one for the game. They are not ready to name a starter for a game that is on Saturday. It is Tuesday.
But we know the plan. So what does it matter?
Yeah, but the plan is this. Even if you have a plan, whoever gets named the guy this week will be looked at as the number one guy. Even if you in game 2 are giving the other guy an option.
Yeah, but we also know who's been, whether
is
Monken
why, right?
wants to admit it or not, we know that it's going to be Watson.
Whoever it is, you go out there, you light the world on fire in a preseason game. What are the odds that you're going to be put back? You know what I'm saying? Once you're out in game action, it's game action.
Yeah.
I get it's preseason, but still. Like in a quarterback competition, if one guy goes out and balls out, then you say, well, the other guy's going to. Now, it's not. I don't think it's a fair fight. But that's what Cleveland is going to do here with the two quarterbacks. So you have the depth chart. The unofficial depth chart is Deshaun Watson or Shedeur Sanders.
Man,
that's our guy, Todd Monken.
Just name someone.
So he that's what he said an hour ago. Yesterday, when speaking to the media and asked about the quarterback battle, this is what Monken said yesterday.
Steven, and then you mentioned that Deshaun's is better.
Hold on. What was that?
So that's what I'm asking. Were you saying,
I said Deshaun's better.
Were you saying that he's gotten better since camp, or that he's better than Shedeur? I want to make sure.
I don't think I threw in there that he's better than Shedeur. I'm not sure I went that far, but I appreciate you trying to trap me in that.
I'm not.
So there he is, Todd Monken, our guy.
Yeah.
Monken.
He is.
So I was just trying to get a sweet haircut.
He is.
That's great. So today, when he met the media, he's not ready to name a starter. And Cleveland plays Chicago on Saturday for their first preseason game. It's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. Hanging out with you until 3 Eastern right here on Westwood One Sports. Each day throughout the summer as we count down the days to the start of the NFL season, we bring to you a segment we like to call the Summer of Football.
I proclaim this the Summer of Football! What the hell's going on out here? We're going to be here all day, baby! I like this kind of party.
Only Brett Favre could do that. I don't care what you say.
I'm just here so I won't get fined.
Just keep matriculating the ball down the field, boys.
We need a National Guard. We need as many men as you can spare because we are killing the Patriots.
The Summer of Football with Bleck and Abdalla.
I throw, you catch. It's not that hard, okay?
You can hear all the big games in the NFL on Westwood One Sports. The opener for the season, Seahawks, Patriots, and also the Super Bowl. Check it out all on Westwood One Sports. Today, we are 29 days away from the start of the NFL season. We are in the 20s, Mr. Abdalla.
Man, it's so close. It is so close. 29 days, and we still have starting quarterbacks yet to be named.
29 days to the start of the NFL season. Patriots and Seahawks will kick it off on the Wednesday after Labor Day. You can listen to the game right here on Westwood One Sports. So today's topic for the Summer of Football: what has been the story of training camp so far in the NFL? I've got a couple of options for you. I want you to select which one you think is the biggest story so far in training camp.
Okay.
Number 1, Patrick Mahomes back on the field, feeling good too. Talking about it the other day, Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. Mahomes back on the field. That's the first option.
Okay. I mean, I'm not going with that one. That's not the one I'm going to pick. I'll tell you that right now. Because I feel like it's not like there was ever a question that he was going to be back. We all knew he was going to be back. I think it might have been a question of week 1, but it was definitely going to be by like week 3 or 4. So no, that's not the main storyline to me.
All right, next up, what about Aaron Donald watch with the Los Angeles Rams?
That's going to be the one.
Questions to McVay, the conversations, the workouts at the facility.
That's the one.
The Rams startup camp, and they're being kind of vague on where Donald's working out, and then he works out in helmet at the practice facility, so then they have to put in the transactional notes that they worked out a player. Aaron Donald and the conversation around assuming he will join the Rams for this upcoming season.
I have a feeling that that's going to be the one just because we keep getting updates every day. And the way McVay is talking about it, it's a matter of when and not if, because they're discussing timelines for the when he can announce it and when he can join the team. That's the one that I have a feeling it's going to be.
Next up, the third option. What has been the best story throughout training camp so far? Third option. All of the injuries in San Francisco, including Kyle Shanahan and his story that seems to be changing by the day on what took place with this car accident before training camp. 49ers, let's call this issues during camp. Issues.
So that's a close second, if not number one, maybe 1A, 1B with Aaron Donald, because the only reason this is a story and not just regular training camp injuries is because now this substation is in the back of everyone's mind, right? Now that George Kittle last year on a podcast put this information into everyone's brain that the substation and the players are weary of this substation.
Yes, the substation.
Every
correct.
time a 49er gets hurt, the substation is brought up, and it feels like more and more attention is brought on to the 49ers every time one of them gets hurt. And so now I think it definitely is a story. It's definitely a story.
Okay.
If not the story.
Okay. So Kyle Shanahan, San Francisco, substation. That's there. Number 3. Number 4. Hey, man, that's not nice. That's my Kirk Cousins.
Oh, that's their Kirk Cousins?
Yeah. Kirk Cousins and Max Crosby, their fight on Friday.
No, that's not a story. That's a camp fight. Come on.
All right. Okay.
Next.
Number 5. New running backs in the NFL getting contracts. A lot of money spent this week to running backs.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
Because it's not like there's not a running back that's like him that much.
Well, it's like the 3 best running backs in the game.
Exactly.
They all got paid.
So it makes sense. It makes sense. There's not a running back that you're like, whoa.
Bijan.
Yeah.
Jameer.
Jonathan
and
Taylor.
Taylor. Yeah.
So it makes sense.
Okay.
So no, I don't think that's a story.
Dahl doesn't like that.
Don't like it. I mean, I like the story. It's just I don't think it's the story.
6th option, the quarterback competition in Cleveland.
Okay.
We were just talking about it. Todd Monken,
Okay.
Deshaun Watson, Shadur Sanders. We had Linnell Willingham on the show yesterday. He said that Shadur, when he was there, looks like the 3.
There's a difference between the story in quotes, like the story of training camp story. Yeah.
The story.
And like the meme story. And like I feel like
that was well done.
The Browns.
Did you just think of that on the top of the top?
Yes.
Top of your head?
Yes.
That was well done. Well played.
Thank
I
you.
like that.
Thank you. The Browns
Thank you.
quarterback competition is the meme story. It's not real.
It's not the story.
Because they're going to suck. So like they're not going to be good. They're going to be bottom of their division. They're going to win some games because their defense is still decent. But both of these guys could be off the roster at the end of the year. Like, we're fighting for the bottom of the barrel. It's just fun because Todd Monken is a great soundbite, and he's a hardo old school football guy.
Yeah.
And we love hearing from him. If he was a boring football coach...
We do love hearing from Todd Monken.
Right? Like, if he was a boring guy...
Yeah.
And gave us nothing.
Oh, I don't think I threw in there that he's better than Shadur. I'm not sure I went that far, but I appreciate you trying to trap me in that.
Like if he was boring and didn't give us
to get a sweet haircut.
Quotes like that, it wouldn't be as fun.
Okay.
Like if we were just getting normal updates and he wasn't going to give us, and he was like, "I'll tell you guys when I tell you guys," and like,
if he was a boring, lame coach that just was not giving you sound bites,
it wouldn't matter. It'd
wouldn't
be
be
nothing.
as much fun.
No one would care because it's the Browns quarterback battle. Who cares? Both these guys are bad. No one. It's Deshaun Watson. No one. He hasn't played real football in 4 years.
Dude, he hasn't been good in like 6.
Exactly. And Shadur,
it's been a long time.
Shadur Sanders is like the 35th best quarterback in a league with not even that many teams.
Well, don't tell social media that.
Well, that's why I said meme.
All right.
So to me, it's the 2 stories of Aaron Donald.
Well, I've got one more for
you.
you.
You've got one more. Excuse me.
Yeah, one last option.
Excuse me.
One last option.
Sorry. I was just going off the list from the sheet.
Wild card selection. Are we missing anything?
Oh.
Is there anything that comes up that you can think of that here in training camp that we're missing in the conversation? Biggest story. You know, the Vikings quarterback competition's over now with Kyler becoming the starter today. I can't really, it doesn't, you know, is it something along the lines of like the Buffalo new stadium?
No,
situation?
because that's just opening a new stadium and
alternate unis.
No, that doesn't matter because if they go to an AFC Championship game, no one's going to care about what uniforms they wear in like a Week 8 game.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You're right.
And as long like sight lines, they'll fix that.
I'll say this: watching on TV when they were watching the camera had the players on the field and they were just like showing you the stadium around. It looks great on TV.
Yeah, it looks
like
good.
There's a good chance I'll never go to that stadium.
No.
So, all right,
it looks good. So I don't think we're missing anything. I mean, the Baker Mayfield story.
Baker and the Bucks.
Baker and the Bucks could be a story just because we'll see how this plays out. If they choose, you know when it's going to be a story is next off season.
Yeah.
If they choose not to franchise him and the Baker sweepstakes. Who is going to sign Baker and what kind of contract that looks like? Because if there's a Baker bidding war, then Baker bidding battle, better alliteration. If there's a Baker bidding battle, then then we've got something here.
All right. So what would your number one pick is?
My number one pick is Aaron Donald's imminent return to the Rams.
I'll go.
My number 2 is San Francisco. It's like 1A, 1B.
Wow. Okay. I'll go 1 San Francisco, 2 Patrick Mahomes, 3 Aaron Donald. That's the way I would. I think the
Mahomes was coming back though.
Yeah, but
we both don't think they're going to be very good.
Yeah. Well, I think it's a big story though. How about that? 29 days until the start of the NFL season.
Crazy.
Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports. You can always call or text the show 310-840-4910, and that's your day of the summer of football, day 29. We have a text here from the 916. Hey, what's up, guys? First time listening to the show on the Raiders app. I didn't know that.
The Raiders app?
We're on the Raiders app? Hell yeah. All right.
Shout
out. Talking quarterback battles, I really think Mendoza has a chance to win the job out of the preseason. I know Kirk is the starter right now, but he's... let's see. Mendoza came in and balled for the practice that I saw. I really think 15 has a chance to do it. God bless and go Raiders. Hell yeah. All right. I was unaware that we are broadcasting on the Raiders app, but that's cool.
I learned something today.
I'll take that.
Sure.
That's pretty sweet. So shout out from
I love Vegas.
916.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. If there's a show that supports Vegas, it's the Bleck Abdalla show.
Oh, man, listen.
If you want us to go broadcast live, Raj, from Parts Unknown in Las Vegas,
I'll do it right now.
We can go tomorrow.
Be there tomorrow, yeah.
We could do a week-long event of shows.
I'll be there tomorrow.
I think this summer we pitched to Armin that we should go for NBA Summer League next year. I think that came
I noticed
up in a
this
meeting
was
once.
piggybacked off of less than 5 minutes ago when you were talking about the Bills Stadium, and you were like, I'll probably never wind up going there. Note to self.
I'll go to the Raiders
Vegas willing to go.
Yeah.
Buffalo,
Raj,
not so much.
A little Broncos Raiders in Vegas? Let's go.
Why
It'll be fun.
Let's do
It'll
that.
be fun.
All right, it's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. All right, so here's the drill. Coming up next here on the show. If you have yet to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Bleck Abdalla Show, you need to do this right now because coming up next, you don't want to miss what will take place here on the show coming up. You can watch it on the YouTube channel. But Abdalla, we have an exclusive interview here on the show. An exclusive conversation you will not hear anywhere else in sports radio, sports conversation. The Bleck Abdalla Show, we will have a conversation, a sit-down with the electrical substation that's taking out all of the 49ers players, and that's next.
Your favorite NFL team plays this week. The preseason is in full swing with all 32 teams taking the field Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. Who will make a name for themselves to move up the depth chart? Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. You know, the latest out of 49ers camp the last couple of days, Abdalla, is that more players continue to get injured. Yesterday, it was Christian McCaffrey. He was out with, quote, tightness. But the running back is fine, but he is out with tightness, which is something that you have to worry about with McCaffrey because he has been injury prone throughout his career to this point with the 49ers, also with the Panthers previously.
Yeah, and obviously he missed a bunch of time last season, and these injuries keep on piling up. You know, they signed Mike Evans, and he's missed, 5 or 6 straight days of practice now, and these injuries keep on piling up for the 49ers, and it's something that was brought to the attention of many when George Kittle on a podcast last year brought to the attention of everybody that their practice facility and stadium was right in the shadows of an electrical substation.
Yes, right. And, you know, the injuries all over the field for the 49ers, right? You mentioned Mike Evans, Christian Kirk dealing with an injury, George Kittle, obviously, Nick Bosa, McCaffrey now, even Kyle Shanahan. I mean, what's going on with the car situation, right? Like autopilot, what's happening? The story changes. So the 49ers are dealing with a lot of injuries. And in those pieces of video that you get to see online, you see the electrical substation lurking in the background in all the photos. I was watching the NFL Network last night, and they're live at 49ers camp. They're at the practice facility in Santa Clara. And I swear to you, every moment I'm watching, the substation's getting bigger in the background.
Yeah.
When you watch it and you see it, it is a focal point. When you're watching the 49ers practice, it is lurking in the shadows.
You know what it looks like? It looks like one of those cartoons where someone is trying to creep up on something else, where it's hiding behind a plant, and all of a sudden that plant gets closer and closer and closer.
Yes.
That's what the substation looks like right now.
Yes, it is.
It's getting closer and closer to the facility and to the stadium.
It's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. Now, if there's one thing you should know about the Bleck Abdalla show, it's journalistic integrity. Right? If there's
hard-hitting news,
journalistic integrity, and Big J journalism. That's
the biggest J.
Yeah. The biggest J. Thank you. Here on the show, Bleck and Abdalla. So with that in mind, we have an exclusive interview with the electrical substation in Santa Clara, California. I was told he has intro music. Yep.
Electric Avenue, and then we'll take it higher. Oh, we gonna rock
okay.
It's got a song.
Avenue, and then we'll take it higher.
You can go to our YouTube channel, Bleck and Abdalla Show. You can see the electrical substation joining the show live.
Oh, wow.
As we now bring in the electrical substation here on Bleck and Abdalla. First question, electrical substation. As we look at the situation, going after all of the 49er players and their ligaments, soft tissue injuries, why?
Well, guys, it's not intentional.
So
that's it?
How do you get through this without laughing?
All right,
I
substation.
am a 49ers fan, okay? I am not doing this on purpose. I didn't build the 49ers facility next to me. The 49ers built a facility next to me.
That's fair. That's fair.
I
Substation.
just exist. You need power. You need power. Do you know how much power a Huey Lewis in the News concert needs? I am a 49ers fan. I didn't want to hurt Christian. I love Christian. I didn't want to hurt Ricky Pearsall. I love him. I didn't mean to cause that, what I did to Brandon Ayuk of what happened.
Oh, his brain.
I just exist.
Now substation, when you have this much power, it often comes with great responsibility, as we know.
Yes, of course.
And my question for you is, we often ask in these situations, we obviously know that you could, but have you ever asked yourself whether or not you should? be doing this to the players?
Good question.
For one, as a electrical substation, I appreciate you bringing up not one but two movie references with both Spider-Man and Jurassic Park, because you need power to be able to watch movies. You need power to be able to power facilities and have lights for your practices. I do not choose to injure these players. It just happens. I don't choose to get bigger in the background. It just happens. Guys, I am an electrical substation, like the one that's powering your radio station right now. It is not my fault.
Okay, all right. Electrical substation joining Bleck and Abdalla here on the show. Hard-hitting conversation, exclusive. You're not going to hear this anywhere else.
Yeah. Nor did you want to.
Electrical substation. With that said, I guess before we let you go, what are you looking to accomplish here with the 49ers? Clearly, players are going down left and right. They need to try and win games. It sounds like you're remorseful over the fact that they continue to get injured, but you're taking the responsibility. How can you help them for the future?
Well, for one, I can give them a real jolt on their way out of this area to build a new facility in another part. I don't know why I keep doing this. In another part of the Bay Area.
Okay, all right. Yep. All right.
That way I can continue to power the homes of Santa Clara as they watch the 49ers win another Super Bowl with a practice facility far away from me.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Electrical Substation, for joining the show. Bleck and Abdalla here on Westwood One
Thank you,
Sports.
Bleck and Abdalla. I got a real charge out of it.
All right. That's enough.
Electric Avenue, and then we'll take it higher. Oh, we're gonna rock down to Electric Avenue, and then we'll take it higher.
They let us do this on a national radio show. Do you realize this?
We'll see. We'll see.
So there you go. There's the Electrical Substation on Bleck and Abdalla, hanging out with you until 3 Eastern, at least for today.
At least for the rest of the day.
Until Jim Rome takes over. I don't know. He may have gotten a call. He's got to start 28 minutes early today. I don't know. I mean, of all of these stupid bits that we've done on our show,
God,
that's towards the top
up there.
Of bad bits that we've had.
That's up there.
It's pretty good.
Well, there's no bad ideas, right?
Oh, there are. There's bad ideas and bad questions. And there's also stupid people.
There's stupid people and stupid questions.
There you go. Bleck and Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports.
It was worth it just to get Raj to break when he said jolt.
Hey, what's up, guys? Hey, thanks for covering me. I had to step out for a few minutes. What do we do that little segment?
Just like when Superman has to leave.
Meanwhile,
what happened, guys?
Just and as
You
Abdalla
just
mentioned,
missed Spider-Man.
Superman removes the glasses, and he instead of being Clark Kent, he turns into Superman, right? Raj, all he did in his studio. So if you were watching on YouTube, Bleck and Abdalla's show, Raj just turned off the lights in his studio. That's it.
You just missed Superman, Raj. Where could you have gone?
I just went to get a snack from the vending machine, and I come back, and for some reason there's like a charge in here. I can feel like my hair getting all staticky, but I don't know why.
Okay, all right. Now that I have you guys, I do need to ask this question. Did you guys see the story of the airplane that had to get canceled? The flight had to get canceled because there was a... Now, I say now that I have you guys here because you are both parents.
We are.
I do not have child. No child. You guys have child. The story is this. There was a kid and two parents who couldn't get the kid to stop screaming, yelling, and standing up, so... They eventually went back to the gate, and I assume the pilot or the crew timed out.
Yeah.
So they had to cancel the flight because the kid would not behave on the flight.
Is that what happened? Did the crew and pilot time out? Is that what happened?
Well, why else would you cancel a flight for taking too long to get the kid and the parents off the flight?
Okay. Well, Raj, have you traveled with your daughter?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So have I. And like, and people with kids know this.
Here, let's see.
People with kids know this. While you look it up, people with kids know this, and people without kids, I hope know this.
Apparently the runway was closing for the night.
Okay, well
I didn't know that airports did that, but
what, did they have
the delay went past when the runway was closed, so then they had to rebook for the next day.
Did they not have lights?
I don't know.
Okay, well that's ridiculous. That's a bad airport. So nobody feels worse than the parents that are going through that, because no one wants the kid to be quiet more than the parents of that kid, because
okay, but
they're going through it.
It's not that the kid was just making noise. The kid wouldn't sit. It was,
I understand
the kid
that.
was standing and jumping in the seat.
I know. I understand that. And
there's different stages of how old your kid is. Like when you have like
how
a
old
baby,
is that kid?
like you
Did it
can't
say?
control it. I got really fortunate. My daughter traveled well. Like she never put up a scene or anything. I got like real fortunate.
They
I
say
remember
toddler. So
okay, so I would assume
toddlers
between
are tough.
3 and 5, 3 and 6.
First time we went,
that.
my wife and I were like mapping it out of like, okay, what time are we gonna get on? We were trying to line up a nap as best we could and like keep her awake.
After the
it's hard
aircraft
to do,
left the
though.
terminal and proceeded to the runway for departure, the young child was standing in their seat and would not secure its seatbelt. In attempts, the parents and the crew addressed trying to get the kid to sit down. They were unsuccessful. The aircraft had to go back to the gate. By the time they got back to the gate and the parents and the kid got off the plane, they missed the curfew on the runway. And therefore, the flight could not take off.
Okay, one bad airport. Since when does an airport have a curfew on the runway?
This is Canada.
Wow.
Victoria International Airport.
Well,
that's why,
Canada.
listen, that's why we took your hockey. That's why we took your hockey. That's why you'll only be America's hat.
But, okay, so this is what I was going to say. Of course, what you said, Abdallah, is you're right. Like, of course, the parent who has the kid acting up, no one feels worse than that. Those people, the two parents, right? I'm totally with you. But like at a certain point, don't you as a parent, don't you just grab the kid and just put them in your lap and you hold on to them?
If they'll let you.
Get the plane off the ground here.
Easier said than done.
If the airline will let
you.
you.
Easier said than done,
listen,
but guys.
No, I understand.
You canceled a flight for an entire flight of people because your kid couldn't sit down?
I would absolutely just
wild.
I would absolutely just hold the kid and just be like, just take off if the airline would let you do that. I'm guessing the airline wouldn't let you hold the kid on your lap. Or I would say, I'm just going to buckle the kid in and I'm going to hold my kid like my wife is going to grab I'm going to grab the arms, wife's going to grab the legs until we figure this out,
Hold them
right?
down.
Right? I would also say, I'm not going to tell people how to parent their kids.
You have a platform right here. Go ahead.
But I am. Like, I don't know. Figure it out, man.
Okay, thank you. That's what I was trying. That's what I was trying to say. But I'm the guy that doesn't have kids, so I can't.
I think you were gonna like my answer on it,
There's
Chris.
a way to figure it out.
I think you're gonna like my. I think you have to know your kid. Like a baby, you don't know yet. But like when your kid, if you can't control your kid, because there's no way this is like a one-time thing. Like this is probably how the kid acts all the time. You got to make other travel accommodations.
Like there's ways out of tantrums. Everybody knows, like Raj says, everybody knows their kid. Everybody knows that there's a way out of a tantrum. And if you're trying to get your kid to break out of certain habits or whatever, if you're in your own setting, like if you're in your house or wherever you live, and you're trying to break the kid, you just let them cry for however long. But if you're in like a restaurant or an airplane or a public setting, you figure it out, man.
Yeah, and the airplane is not the time to like stand on parenting principle. That's the time to give them the candy, even if they're being bad. That's the time to shove a tablet in their face.
Here's the
like
iPad.
All the things you're
Stop
not
it.
supposed to do, just do it because you're around all those others.
You want to watch Toy Story for 2 hours? Here you go.
Candy? Go for it.
Yeah, here you go.
Okay, see, I appreciate you guys, and that's why I brought it up, because as
You
the
stop
one
acting
that
up, we'll
doesn't
get you a
have-
toy when we land, and then you don't get them a toy when
we
you
all
land.
want to
You
get to
lie.
our destination,
Come
man.
on.
Like, we're all trying to
That's what I'm
stop
saying.
here.
As someone who doesn't have a kid, when I read the story, I was like, wow, you inconvenienced all of those people because you couldn't control your kid. Like,
Yeah,
that to me is
look,
wild. So I'm glad you, with a
Figure
kid,
it out. Figure
you
it
said
out.
you should find a way to figure it out.
Figure it out.
All right, I feel better then. Because I was hoping that you guys were going to be like, well, just because you don't have a kid, you think that your time is more. No. Figure it out. I like that. All right. Love it.
Unless it's like unfigure-outable, I don't know. I don't know the person's kid. So I would say for my kid, figure it out.
Hey, kid, if you can't sit down, you're walking.
Well, I mean, listen, duct tape.
Duct tape. Oh,
Jeez,
jeez.
Abdalla.
What is wrong with you? Duct
The
tape.
line.
All right.
Abdalla jumps
That's
right
what my
across.
grandfather would have told me back in the day. If you don't stop, I'll hang you up upside down with duct tape, and that would have gotten me to shut up. He would have never done it.
All right. Fantastic. Okay. Bleck and Abdalla here on
I think
Westwood
we all
One
learned a little
Sports.
something about Adam
Yeah,
Abdalla today.
Jeez. Okay.
It's just the threat.
All right. Wow. Are the Bears closer to moving to Indiana? We'll tell you about the latest on that story coming up next.
Last year's top 3 picks are shining at camp. Titans QB Cam Ward, Jaguars two-way man Travis Hunter, and Giants edge rusher Abdul Carter. Could super sophomore campaigns be on the way for this trio? Westwood One Sports.
At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 4 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will be in 3 minutes and 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 3 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 2 minutes. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute, 30 seconds. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 1 minute. Stations, this is your final time check. At the tone, the broadcast will begin in 30 seconds.
This is Bleck and Abdalla on Westwood One Sports. Here's Chris Bleck and Adam Abdalla.
If you missed any portion of today's show, check out the podcast on Apple and Spotify, including our exclusive conversation with the electrical substation here on Bleck and Abdalla. A high point for the network, I'm being told. People are saying.
Yeah.
It's a high point for the network.
Yeah.
Also, like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, Bleck and Abdalla Show. Thank you to Raj and Roy for producing. Jim Rome and the Jim Rome Show is coming up in 12 minutes right here on Westwood One Sports. All right, so a story that we've followed here on the show, and I think people nationally are somewhat aware of this situation. And the story is this. In Chicago with the Chicago Bears, they're trying to build a new stadium somewhere. They purchased a bunch of land in Illinois, out in the suburbs, about 45 minutes west of the city, Arlington Heights. The Bears own that land, but the state of Illinois is not giving the team tax breaks on the property taxes of the land. Okay, so that has started a whole set of stories that have hit the national cycle because there was back in like April. People thought that the Bears were automatically moving to Indiana. Now, Hammond, Indiana, from where we're sitting in downtown Chicago, is roughly about 25 minutes away. So technically, getting to Hammond, Indiana is closer than getting out to Arlington Heights, which is in the state of Illinois.
Mm-hmm.
But people here have a big problem with the Chicago Bears, the pride and joy of Illinois, as the song says, moving across state lines and going to Indiana.
Yeah.
Well, we've seen some teams do this. We've seen a lot of teams in the NFL do this, right? Like the Cowboys don't play in Dallas. They play in Arlington. We were just talking about the substation in Santa Clara. The 49ers don't play in San Francisco. They play an hour south of San Francisco.
Giants don't play in New York.
The Giants and the Jets, they play in New Jersey, right? So it happens.
Mm-hmm.
It's been a very passionate conversation here in Chicago because people don't want the Bears to leave. There's also no room in the city to build a new stadium. So, like, building something in Chicago is not going to happen. It's either Arlington Heights out in the suburbs of Illinois or Hammond, Indiana. And Abdalla and I have been vocal in saying, I'll believe it that they're moving to Indiana when they actually put shovels in the ground. I'll believe it when shovels go in the ground. Because until that point, I think all it is posturing and trying to back the state of Illinois into a spot to make them look bad. So eventually they cave and give them more of a break on taxes. Positioning. That's what I feel like this has all been.
Yeah. Yeah, for the most part.
Right. Is that a fair, like, Cliff Notes way to describe the situation?
Yeah. Yeah. I would say so.
So the Bears yesterday held their practice at a local high school. They do this once training camp. They go to a local high school. It's open to the public. The only catch, though, is that the media can't get in because it's like a homecoming rally type of thing. Like it's not covered the same as practice is covered during the days of training camp. And so a TV reporter, Patrick Fazio at NBC5 in Chicago, got a chance to talk to George McCaskey, the owner of the Bears, at this practice. The other media members weren't around. Take a listen to what McCaskey had to say about the Bears' future home.
I know people are wondering, how's everything looking in Hammond?
We're doing some due diligence on a second site in Hammond, and I think Kevin and I will have more to report in the coming days.
And anything new in Arlington Heights?
No.
Okay, so that's George McCaskey yesterday at the Bears practice. Kevin is Kevin Warren, the president of the team. Is there anything there? I still don't believe that the Bears are actually going to move to Indiana. Because it is fair that the Bears doing due diligence on a second site because the first site isn't actually big enough. It's an old golf course that's surrounded by water.
Yeah.
Tough course. But I would say
it is.
The site isn't big enough to put a stadium, parking complex, restaurants, pro shop, all this stuff around it, right? A lot of teams have that now, and that's what the Bears want. So they're looking at other sites because I don't think they were ever actually serious about going to Indiana in the first place.
Well, they've done all the work for Arlington. They own the land.
They own the land.
They've done the site surveys. They know everything will fit.
Well,
they've done all this stuff.
And it will because it used to be a horse racing track.
Yeah, so they know all of
there
this.
used to be a facility built there that they've torn down. So it's a big enough plot of land.
So doing all of this due diligence is, of course, going to happen because if you're going to seriously put pressure on the state of Illinois to give you tax breaks or whatever you're looking for, you have to actually have a viable place to put your stadium instead of just being like, yeah, we're also thinking about Indiana and not actually having a place to put the stadium, you know? Like, you can't just say, well, we're going to think about it, and then the state comes back and be like, no, you don't actually have a place to put it because no place is big enough for you. You own the land here. You're going to put it here. We're not giving you anything.
And to add to the conversation, Indiana has cut the tax breaks for the Bears.
Oh, they've given Indiana's giving them the Bears everything that they want.
And that's why it's such a power play is because Indiana is welcoming. They're saying, come on in.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have 2 NFL teams in our state because the Colts are down in Indianapolis. But, you know, they call it the region, the Northwest region of Indiana. And that's where those people who essentially a lot of them live and work and go to Chicago. It's a 25-minute drive, and then they live in Indiana. So it's not too far. But that's the latest. Again, I will add to the conversation. I'll believe it when I see it.
Getting closer, though.
But it is, I feel like that's why they need the pressure on the state of Illinois.
Dangerously close.
It is. It's Bleck Abdalla here on Westwood One Sports and the Westwood One Sports app. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Jim Rome and the Jim Rome Show is coming up next.
This is Westwood One Sports.